Oh my God!
I'm sorry, my bad.
I told you not to quit your day job,
bro. I can't, man. When I hear a stone groove like that, I gotta sing a little bit. I got the music in my heart.
Stone groove.
Oh my God!
It's a stone groove, baby.
Well, good evening to you all. It's that time once again. I am coming to you live from the County of Kings, the People's Republic of Brooklyn. And as always, I have my compadre, Mr. Nostra Chavez. What's happening, dude?
Oh, man. Not much, man. It's living the dream. Living this dream.
I got
every day of my life.
I got you.
How about you?
And I'm good, man. It's been a busy week. No, busy day. I was just telling Adam, there's so much that's happened within the last 2-3 days. And we're going to talk about it all right here. And of course, to the left, to the right of me on your screen, is returning once again. This time, now a 2-time author of his first book, Black Victim to Black Victor, and his second book, which is going to be a banger. The Children We Leave Behind. Mr. Adam Coleman. Left behind. Okay,
Children We Left Behind. I see you got the book behind you too, man.
Yeah.
Already. That's in print already. That's dope. All right.
So we're going to talk about a lot. And also, I have another guest who's here.
Which one do we got?
Well, we'll have Evan Barker join us around 9:00.
Yeah. I'm a little more concerned about this other guy.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm nervous as shit.
Dude, I love it. Look at
nervous.
Look how you are laid out right now. You're right on top of JD Vance's body right now, dude. Look at this.
Holy shit, I am.
At least on my screen you are.
Well, dude, like, listen, that background is
JD
exactly
Vance with Isaiah's head.
Yeah, and Marco Rubio with Adam's head.
Yes, that's
we're
right.
gonna fix this right now because coming to the stage,
oh boy,
a very, very special guest. A man who, though he has the skin of hypothermia, he is very much warm and fuzzy. He has an affinity for asking very, very awkward questions of leftists in public spaces. I want to give you, ladies and gentlemen, Puppet Edgar.
Hi.
What's going on?
Hi, can you hear me?
Look at that.
We can hear you just fine. How are you?
That's good. I'm great. Hi, Adam. It's very nice to see you. And Isaiah, wow, you're not what I expected. I expected someone thinner. This is pretty nice. And Nostra,
here we go.
Yeah, Nostra,
Here we go.
Nostra, I was actually expecting you to be kind of in a butler costume as some kind of a servant to Isaiah. So I'm a little bit
Ooh, that's racist.
I'm going to wait for the side.
Oh, my God.
I think that's racist.
Oh.
No, it's not racist. It's not racist. Do not
How you
start
assume that
racist.
I'm in the service industry, Puppet Edgar?
Why do I assume that?
Yeah, how would you assume something like that?
Oh, God.
Man, that really grinds my gears. This is not the way to start off an interview in a podcast.
I know.
Radio.
Oh dear!
I know.
I'm full of
This is
anxiety. Oh no!
We're
I'm
off
not
the
invited to the
rails
cookout
already.
anymore.
I don't think I'm going to cook out. Hey, let's change the subject because I'm a little hot under the collar. Who drew these little coloring pictures behind these little doodles? Who did this?
Where are you? Prison? You in prison?
Listen,
Like he's counting the years, you know?
no, Nostra.
That Puff the Magic Dragon?
No, this is your mom. I drew your
My
mom.
mom's a dragon. That makes a lot of sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense.
Burger. And that's
Ooh.
my auntie. And I draw them on my walls of my room because I'm retarded. It's fine.
Well, I didn't want to say it, but your special needs. Your special needs.
I actually,
My God.
I do have special needs. To activate me, I need a hand thrust deep in my body to really get going. Yeah,
So does Pete Buttigieg.
Oh shit.
You know.
Anyways, oh God.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Mayor Pete.
It's time to wave goodbye to Mayor Pete. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm just kidding, Mayor Pete. Those are jokes.
Just swat him.
I'm not. I hate that guy.
No,
I refuse to hide my hatred of Pete Buttigieg. I despise that man. He's the boyish young face of maternity leave.
Oh my goodness! I wonder. Do you think he breastfeeds or
no? He chest feeded his
chest feeds.
Chest feeded them. There's a difference.
I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I have a poll on my website. If you were on a desert island and you had to choose one beverage, either Bud Light or Dylan Mulvaney's breast milk, which one would you choose? So answer that. When you get an audience at home, go to @PuppetEdgar, no space, on Twitter, and tell me how much you're salivating over Dylan Mulvaney's breast milk versus the vile concoction that is Bud Light.
Well,
America,
I don't know. What do you think, Adam? What would you go with that one? That's a tough one.
Yeah, Adam. Would you suckle the titties of Dylan Mulvaney?
Oh my God.
Depends, man. Depends.
No, take the Bud Light. You want that shit?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Bud Light. Listen, I'll look. My man.
Maybe.
Listen, my man card. I'll hand it in for 24 hours, and then I'll take it back after that Bud Light. It's just ridiculous.
But Isaiah, this is what's alarming. 15% chose Dylan Mulvaney suckling. My audience is disgusting.
They're very progressive. Those 50%.
Very progressive. So Edgar, so first off, I've watched some of your videos before you came down. I want to thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
You did something I guess this was, when was this? This was 3 days ago. Oh God. Yeah, so Edgar here.
They want to repress your rights.
Edgar here almost got beat up.
No, I did get beaten up. These two bitches came out of nowhere and beat my ass.
Two crusty bitches.
Two crusty bitches in front of the U.S. Treasury Department. Actually, I got hit a lot that day. They're mad. They're mad at Elon. They're mad at Trump. They're calling everyone Hitler, including me. It's terrible.
You're Hitler. So blue Hitler.
You're Hitler. You're Hitler? Hitler's a puppet now.
Yeah, I'm like Frostbite Hitler to them or something. I don't get it. No,
everybody gets a chance being Hitler.
Everyone I don't like's a Nazi. Everyone I don't
Everybody
like
gets to be a turn being Hitler.
Yeah, they will Hitlerize anything.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of what Edgar does. Mr. Ask America himself. Yes, this guy is. I don't know how he does it. Just watch.
Yay!
Oh wait, hold on. Whoops.
I spell it A-N.
Nope,
they want to repress your rights. They're authoritarian people. What the hell is wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me.
No, wait. No, don't touch my shit. Don't insult me. I'm here in front of the Treasury Department. All these white people are gathered to summon their hate for one particular African. And his name was Elon Musk.
He is like a sad human being.
No, he's not. He has a lot of kids, and family is true wealth. How many children do you have?
He's got his finger on my money.
Is this the first time you've been fingered?
No.
Whoa, what? For a minute, I looked at your sign real swift and I thought it said deep throat Elon. How much government waste is too much, Glenn?
I'm telling you, there's not that much government waste.
I don't think there's enough of it that merits this reaction.
I'm not qualified to answer that.
But you're qualified to be here out in the street. When are we going to draw the line, toilet man?
They're cutting our rights.
What's the biggest right you're losing right now?
Well, they're
What the hell is wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me. Can I chat with you?
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with you?
Don't think I haven't tried. So far, I've collected about 20 middle fingers here. It's almost stabbing time. I might have to get out. Well, how much money did the government waste in 2023?
Well, I don't think that's a fair question.
$10? How much government waste do you think there was in 2023?
$50 million.
Higher.
$100 million.
Come on, Glenn.
$500 million.
According to General Accounting Office, upwards of $500 billion with a B. Is that too much waste for you, Glenn?
It depends on how you define waste.
What do you want from me?
I was going to ask what station you're with. What's your channel?
Can you read?
What is it? What
What does it say?
What do you do?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I don't get
Was
beat
that
up at the end.
Well, was that Taylor Lorenz?
No, she's not wearing a mask. It couldn't be Taylor.
Dude,
Taylor's one crazy bitch with a mask. What?
Oh, boy.
She still have a job?
What?
Well, you see
I
this?
don't
With
think so.
Washpo?
No, I don't think so. I
No?
think she's out of. I think she quit Wapoganda. Amazingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a long time ago. But look at this guy, the guy in the back.
Oh, I talked to ninnies on.
You see that one in the back with the
He had a
eyes?
look on his face. Yeah, man. He had an intense look.
These I'm telling you, these people are fucking possessed.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
The
If you-
street. What do you do? Do you think our government has gone wrong because we hired too many theater kids? Is Neon just a little bit gay?
I wouldn't say.
Oh, wait.
bothering you? No.
No, you busybody mascoid. Leave me alone. But she's so nosy. She follows me around. She touched me.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Do I touch you? No, I do not. But I'd love to. Federal workers have been given protection for eons. What is so special about you that you need protection that no one else has? Have you ever known a federal employee to be fired? Ever? Ever?
Yes. They were giving secrets to somebody in the foreign government.
Is that
I'm glad you didn't show the part where I got my ass kicked at the end. That was rough.
You know, I just might, but this actually goes into the theme of tonight's show.
A theme?
The theme.
What's the theme? Tell Edgar.
Democrats just aren't cool anymore.
No, they're not.
They're not cool anymore.
No.
These guys,
It's been a long time since they've been cool,
they
man.
suck.
Yeah.
They
Conservatism.
suck.
Yeah, conservatism
people,
is the new counterculture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Adam, you talked about this earlier this week. Yes, you talked about this earlier this week. I did not, of all of the things that I was putting together, I did not get that. Well, I'll find it. But basically, if you could, Adam, tell us a bit about your rant about Dems just not being cool and being just ridiculous.
Well, throughout the article,
Like what inspired you to write that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Actually, what inspired me? Because I saw something, and I just thought to myself, God, these people are so fucking lame. That was like just my gut reaction. But I would say I've been somewhat following politics since like my mid-20s. I'm 40 now, and aware of politics even before that, but really like started following things in my mid-20s. But I remember in the 90s, I remember Bill Clinton. I remember, Arsenio Hall, where he's going on playing saxophone. I remember Rock the Vote. I remember all these different things, even Vote or Die, but I don't know if I want to bring that up with Diddy. But I just remember like the Democrats were part of popular culture, which was different than celebrity culture, than like what you see today. But they were part of popular culture. Then of course you had like Obama, who was youthful, went on all these talk shows. He was, whether you agree with his politics or not, he was quick-witted. He was jovial, especially in his first term. It was just they were relatively, politically speaking, kind of cool, or at least adjacent to cool. As as cool can be in politics, because politics is normally filled with nerds. So when I'm looking at that, I'm looking at how they're so close to youth culture and all these like cool moments throughout at least my lifetime. And then I look at them today and they're the nanny state. They're we're going to tattletale on you if you say the wrong word.
Thought police.
Yeah. You also forgot that they
language police.
You also forgot that they like to rape kids.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but
no child's behind.
There are.
Yeah.
My God.
There are some who outright advocate killing them in the womb and mutilating them after they're born. So
they also have an abortion truck outside the DNC convention.
Right. And
with a wacky waving inflatable IUD.
Yeah.
A wacky waving inflatable IUD. Yeah. Right next. Exactly.
There's no more marginalized person than a fetus. What advice would you give a fetus in the womb to try to defend itself?
Become trans.
Democrat fetus.
Become trans. Maybe they'll protect them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I wear this costume.
Or identify as born already. Identify as born already.
Nostril. So, do I look trans wearing the pink and the blue? Do I look trans?
No, we look queer.
God damn it, Nostril.
Yes, especially with the pink with the pink hat, the relic of 2017.
Looks like you're wearing a pussy hat. Looks like you're wearing a pussy hat.
Is that a
pussy hat?
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That is pretty cool. I like that. I don't know whose pussy looks like that, but okay. Pink crab claw.
This is a question for the ages. Whose pussy does look like this? Maybe
it's like a baboon pussy.
Oh God!
I mean,
Joy Behar. Okay, got it.
So I think I found what Adam was. What I think what might have inspired you, because even I looked at this and was like what the fuck is even this?
There we go.
You got your boy. Hold on, wrong one.
Oh no, that was after.
Oh,
I think I remember what inspired me.
Oh,
it was that dude who I think it was the dude who looks like Jordan Peele, who's now.
Boy Reed. Boy Reed. Yeah. Boy Reed.
I think it was that.
Him.
That's good.
Yeah. No, this is Don Lemon. Now, here's what's messed up, right? Don Lemon actually used to be cool. He used to be
really.
He did.
Cooler. I'll say cooler.
He was a lot cooler than the broken wretch that
he's
you
terrible
see
now. Definitely cooler.
The broken wretch that you see next to us. This is the classic fall from grace. Like he's giving he's spiraling.
Actually,
like
Isaiah,
you're showing people. Yeah.
What are you doing, buddy?
If we're gonna have a hip TV or a hip internet streaming thing going on here, we got to use hip words. The kids are saying "crash out." This is crashing out.
Yeah.
Crashing out.
This is indeed. Right. This is indeed a crash out. I mean, this guy, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, this is a generational crash out. Like,
what is he doing?
Why are you fucking with people on the subway?
Why is he showing them a picture of himself?
Exactly.
What is going on here?
Like memes. Like, what are you doing? And on top of that, like you're running next to the.
I don't know, man. Unhinged.
Yeah, it's cringe.
When you come that close to a moving subway train as it's leaving a station, like that's unsafe enough as it is. But then to just show these people randos, you're showing randos even more random memes of yourself.
Wait, Isaiah, are
Why?
you saying New York City is unsafe?
I mean, when you got randos like Don Lemon walking around, like what the hell?
But sir, I want to go there and do an Ask America with Edgar in New York City. If you're saying it's unsafe, I might have to cancel.
Oh, but no, come here, and I will be your bodyguard.
You'll protect my ass? Hell yeah! It's
What if I signed myself up for?
a lot of misery.
Oh yeah.
Isaiah's going to be my New York buddy. I am so psyched. Film me. Can you handle a camera?
So, I can actually. Yeah, I can handle a camera. I'm pretty good with it.
I'm very excited about the prospects of this.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, we'll talk.
Nostril, you can come too if you promise to behave.
Ooh, I mean, we'll see. But we could get him like a nice Blue Lives Matter like kind of thing going on, or blue thin blue line thing.
Oh yeah, like I haven't got my ass kicked enough already. Good idea.
That like a cape.
So okay, so I've got more. Okay, Lemon. So Don Lemon is a guy that when I was in my more like liberal days, I thought Don Lemon had a cool factor about him. Like when he went on that rant years ago about pulling your pants up.
But that's a conservative rant.
And actually, he did have a bit of a conservative rant. Yeah, and everybody roasted like all of Black Twitter roasted him for quote unquote respectability politics and everything. And then he started getting drunk. And then he started getting drunk on New Year's Eve with fucking Andy Cohen. Okay, and that was just the end of it. Like now you have that. Okay, but I got somebody else. I don't know if y'all know who Touré is.
I do not.
He's like going to be featured. He's going to be featured in my video tomorrow.
So yeah, I've met Touré. I met Touré many years ago. Down in Washington,
is he a condescending prick in real life too?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And again, like this is how like leftist, like liberal people are in real life. I mean, well, with the exceptions of with blessed exceptions, obviously. But this guy is one who he's written books about Prince, right? He wrote a book called Who's Afraid of Post-Blackness or some shit, like when everybody was celebrating I don't know.
What would that mean?
It was written after Obama was elected president in 2008. Jesus Christ. Who's afraid of a little post-blackness? And then all of a sudden there was just this massive leftward shift. Like Black people all of a sudden, like back then we were non-monolithic, and then after 2015, like 2016, we're all a monolith, a blob, or whatever.
Yeah, we're back.
He got absolutely cooked by Scott Jennings.
Oh, that happens a lot.
Scott Jennings, absolutely. I don't know what it is. I guess he provides that little bit of a ratings bump that CNN absolutely need. But he got absolutely cooked. But Touré got so cooked by Scott Jennings. Watch.
Can we be real for a moment that Doge is not about cutting money, right? It's not about spending. It's about shrinking government so that it'll be too small to stop Trump with whatever else is in this plan.
Why would the government?
What the fuck does that even mean?
Isn't he the head of the government? You're saying the government would be too small to stop Trump. If Trump's the president, why would the government, the bureaucracy, be actively trying to stop him?
Because they want to shredding the Constitution and creating an authoritarian dictatorship. That's why.
And no matter who is in office, I'm going to hold them accountable. But more importantly, I'm going to make sure the government is working for the American people.
Both of you all made an interesting point, which is that your view is that Trump is shredding the Constitution. I'd like to hear more about that. But that it seems to me that you all both believe that the unelected part of our government, the bureaucracy, has a responsibility to resist the political leadership. Is that your view?
That's not actually
That's
what
not
we
at all
said. We
what I
said they are
Yeah, it is.
upholding the Constitution, the principles of the Constitution, and at times
How
that we
is
have
Trump
seen.
shredding the Constitution?
My God, he's a. Should
I
we
mean,
go to-
seriously,
He
do we
doesn't
have to
believe in
give
the
you a
balance of
civics
power,
lesson
Scott.
that we have?
I don't know,
that we put all power in the executive
How is
branch.
holding the
The
government-
the legislative branch, the FBI. Now we're in control of the military. We're
Yes.
silencing media.
Commander-in-Chief,
This
head
is
of
what
the
you
military.
do
Yes,
in
it's
Here
executive
here it
leadership.
comes.
Are you
Not-
suggesting that the president is not the commander-in-chief of the military?
I am suggesting that the president is going to put in charge somebody who is going to contravene the Constitution. And at some near point, this conversation will look very silly for you because it will be obvious. And right now, you're
Wait,
gaslighting.
he's gonna
but when we
put-
get to the actual
he's
rubber
gonna
of the
put-
road of
I'm
this,
sorry.
it will be clear.
I'm interested in this conversation. He's going to put someone in charge who will contravene the Constitution. Like who? What do you mean by that? The president is in charge of the military, is he not? You said he's going to put someone in charge of the military?
The president is in charge of the military. That is how it works.
He had to save his ass. Good Lord.
Yeah,
Wow, that was great.
The last thing I want to do is watch the muling. Adam, I'm gonna start with Adam. Your thoughts, please, sir.
So I got something come out tomorrow as a video and an article. It's called CNN stands for Condescending News Network. And this is a perfect example. You have Torre, who, because this stuff happens like really fast. He says a whole lot of stuff in just a matter of a few seconds. But the level of condescending attitude and remarks that he stated, and the best part was when he claimed that Scott was gaslighting him as he's actively gaslighting Scott.
Yeah, well, that happened. They've been doing that for a long
Exactly.
time, man.
You gotta love the Darvo. Gotta love the
They've been doing that
Darvo.
for years.
I'm just
Like-
so glad.
General.
I'm so glad that Steve Urkel found a job in journalism. I think
Steve Urkel need to lay off the damn coke. Like Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
glasses.
it's crack Steve Urkel. That's what.
Let me the one I'm gonna hit on the first thing that Touré said. He wants to shrink the government small enough to where it can't stop Trump. Do you understand the madness? The amount of literal mental illness and ignorance of the Constitution, ignorance of your own government, to let that come out of your mouth? Seriously,
But-
I mean, fuck
Isaiah,
being cool for it. Go ahead.
He's going to give us a civics lesson. I mean, you just have to
Fuck a
wait.
civics lesson.
Look, you gotta.
I don't
you're-
want a civics lesson from somebody who literally squinted like he learned something brand new when Jennings brought up Article 2 of the Constitution of the United States. Basic knowledge of the Constitution, basic knowledge of what the executive branch does. And that son of a bitch with his condescending attitude and his know-it-all, like it's gaslight, it's gonna become clear. They all fucking do this. I
Isaiah,
can't stand it. Yo, sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
I don't know why you are expecting a radical leftist activist who I must assume went to college to study radical leftist activism courses that don't teach you jack shit besides you're oppressed. Everybody who's oppressed, you gotta hate America and white people and men and blah blah blah. Like to know anything about the fucking Constitution or know anything about how the government works. That's not important to them. As you well know, that there's always the revolution. Always the revolution. That's what's the most important to these people. Man.
Yeah. Go ahead, Edgar. What were we gonna say?
This is CNN. What were you guys expecting exactly? Were you expecting something above garbage? I mean, how many times does Lucy need to pull the football away from you before you cotton on to them just being garbage? Except for Scott Jennings, he's okay.
And I love how they have like at those panels they have. There's always like Scott and maybe one half conservative, and then like 5 Democrats against him every time, including the host. Like it's just and he still cooks them every time.
Well,
Yeah.
It's bananas.
if we check in with lefties, are they saying the same thing? Are they saying, "Ooh, Scott Jennings got owned"? Because we are
No,
living in two different worlds here.
Yep.
They are not seeing the same
We
thing.
are.
It's blue dress and yellow dress.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Oh God.
What dress
Now,
are you wearing, Nostril?
Oh,
What dress are you wearing, Nostril?
I'm wearing a see-through lace dress under this.
Isaiah, stand up. Are you wearing pants? You better be.
No, I'm wearing shorts.
So you don't have to stand up. Isaiah.
Come on. All right, yeah, I definitely want to see it. Come on, man. Give me some kneecap. Give me some kneecap, buddy. I'm going to see it at the cookout.
You probably will.
Adam, lift up your shirt.
Jesus, Edgar, you're very forward. We barely know you, puppet.
Oh
Edgar.
no.
I'll give you $1.
So for the
Come on, man,
benefit,
do it. Take off your clothes now.
so for the benefit of the audience,
Sorry.
okay,
Boy,
I am
Em?
going to I wanted to just read to y'all what Article 2 states as per the Constitution. The executive power, Section 1, the executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States of America. And that's the most important part. Okay. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years and together with the vice president, blah, 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 blah. Section 2, the president shall be the commander in chief of the Navy, of the Army, and the Navy of the United States, and of the militia of the several states when called into service. And he may require, he shall have power by and with the advice of and consent of the Senate to make treaties, provided 2/3. This is, he shall time from time go to give to the Congress information of the State of the Union. Like the man, like the president of the United States is in charge of in charge of the executive branch as per the Constitution.
Yeah.
So the fact that fact that this guy, go ahead.
Isaiah, you skipped the part. You clearly skipped the part where it says explicitly the rest of the government is supposed to try to stop the president of the United States from doing anything all 4 to 8 years that he's in office. You must have skipped that part because that seems to be what they think the government's for.
I think I did.
Yeah, you must have skipped that line.
I don't get
good way
it.
to run a
Almost,
government, by the way. You elect a new president and then you just try to stop him the entire time. That's a good way to run a government. That's good.
It's almost as if Teray let the quiet part out loud that the federal bureaucracy was indeed that fourth branch of government that's unelected.
Yeah.
He's
a graduate of Deep State University. Absolutely.
There you go. Adam, when is that article dropping? When is that article dropping, by the way?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Okay. And let me see this. Tony Wood says, interesting. I recently looked at the Constitution and couldn't find the article about bureaucracy. Yeah.
Well, clearly you weren't looking hard enough, Tony Wood. I graduated from Columbia University. You didn't look hard enough. You need a civics lesson.
Oh, were you imitating me?
It does kind of sound like you. Huh?
It does sound a lot like me. I'm kind of feeling offended. I guess you got me back for that Butler comment.
Yes, exactly. Now you know how it feels, buddy.
I'm hurting. Let me get some
I'm just
tissue.
kidding. I love you, buddy.
So there's that. There's him, right? There's Teray, who again got absolutely cooked. And Teray's one of those guys that's still kneeling for Colin Kaepernick damn near 10 fucking years later. I'm dead serious. There's so many of them. There's so many people. Jamel Hill. Again, like this is how uncool these people are.
Good God.
They're fighting.
Jamel Hill used to be cool.
Yeah, he used to be.
When she first started going on ESPN, I think she used to do like local sports. And then she first got on ESPN and she seemed kind of cool. Like out of all the different people who were on there, she was a little bit younger. She made jokes and she was, she seemed relatively easygoing. And so it's kind of shocking that she turned into like this rabid leftist who thinks white people are the devil.
Yeah, she got her cock removed and then it's all downhill from there.
That woke mind virus will do that to you, man.
I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything like that. Like, why in the world would you? It's like from. I remember when there were like several people back then who were like the race men, right? Like Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm talking like this is like 2012, 2013. You had Ta-Nehisi Coates. You had Teray was talking about race, and like Ta-Nehisi Coates, like that guy was touted as the next James Baldwin, the scion of James Baldwin.
Yep.
Until they Adam, that was you, Nose?
Oh, I can't take it, dude.
And
Who is
then
James Baldwin? Ta-Nehisi Coates? He's supposed to be the next.
Y'all don't know who Ta-Nehisi Coates is?
No, I know who he is.
Adam, I was gonna say Adam should know who he is.
Yeah, I know who he is.
He also
I remember seeing Coleman Hughes take him down in front of the Senate. I think it was in front of Congress, if I'm not remember correctly, when reparations or something like that. Yeah, that was back.
You gotta send me that video.
Yeah, I'll find that
because I'll be honest with you.
They had like a debate in front of Congress, I think.
Coates was one of the biggest. I hate to say this because he is someone that his writing style. There was some of his writing style that I actually liked. But if you want to talk about a bloviating motherfucker, that dude could write a 16,000 word piece in the Atlantic and not actually say anything in it. And the case for reparations, that gigantic piece that he wrote, where it was just nothing. It was just a whole bunch of nothing. It was just honestly, it was like a Lorem Ipsum thing. But getting back to my point, that was how he had a bit of that cool factor at first, at least in leftist circles.
Yep.
In white leftist circles.
Yeah.
But the overall cool factor of these people is just gone. I'll give you another example. Alexander Vindman, remember him?
Yeah, he's a fat chow hound from the military.
Yeah.
He's also a phone snitch.
Yeah, and a traitor. And
he has a twin, and they're both evil.
They're both evil. And the wife is worse. The wife is worse.
He has a wife?
Rachel Vindman, yeah.
Someone accepted his schlong? God, disgusting.
Hard to believe.
He's so gross. Okay.
Yeah, leftists are holding grudges longer than most women.
Wow.
And most women leftists are women too. So
D plus 36, and they don't get none. Anyways, I want to. So even with certain like sports figures, right? You've got. I'll get to Vindman in a second because that's going to set up a conversation that I want to actually wait to until Evan gets here. I won't start talking about Zelensky until then. So, but this guy, Jesse Marsh, as y'all know, I am a big soccer fan. Okay, and not just because I'm 6'3". Jesse Marsh is a American soccer legend. I think he actually played for DC United at one point. He coached New York Red Bulls years ago, coached Leeds United over in the Premier League, was given a lot of shit about it because over there they are very, very critical of Americans in their sport. That's one of the reasons why Christian Pulisic had to get the fuck out of Chelsea. But so now he is the Canadian. He's the coach of the Canadian men's national team. Our beloved 51st state. And this is the general energy around leftists these days. Again, dreadfully uncool. Watch.
These international tournaments for Canada mean something different now. And, as an American, I'd like to address the 51st state discourse, which I find unsettling and frankly insulting. Canada is a strong, independent nation that's deep-rooted in decency, really. And it's a place that values high ethics and respect. unlike the polarized, disrespectful, and often now hate-fueled climate that's in the U.S. And look, Canada values a lot of fairness and unity. It's a place that I've learned as the national team coach where people really believe that their differences make them stronger. And honestly, it's one of the things that I've enjoyed the most about our team is that they exemplify this as human beings and as a team. And look, they're almost all first and second generation Canadians coming from different heritage and cultures, but they uniquely are incredibly proud to be Canadian, to represent their country, to give everything to each other, and the love that they have for each other and playing for their country. And to me, this sounds very familiar to years past, right? So for me right now, I couldn't be prouder to be the Canadian national team coach, and I found a place where that embodies for me the ideals and morals of what not just football and a team is, but what life is. And that's integrity, respect, and the belief that good people can do great things together. And so if I have one message to our president, it's lay off the ridiculous rhetoric about Canada being the 51st state. As an American, I'm ashamed, right, of the arrogance and disregard that we've shown one of our historically oldest, strongest, and most loyal allies.
You know, you can just tell this guy watches someone else plow his wife in the corner. Just that's a big soy cup energy. I've never seen such a don't make it fun of Canada. Oh, there's so much hate.
Jesse Marsh, make sure there's always a cuckold chair in his hotel room.
Absolutely. That is exactly where the fuck he's going to be parked at every day. Like, seriously.
So weak. What a weak specimen. Get him out of my sight.
I will say, real quick, I want to say, Isaiah, I just want to say, like, you know, at least if Canada became the 51st state of the United States, at least they'd have free speech, because that's something they don't have right now. You can be put in front of a fucking human rights tribunal and
locked up,
and get your psychology license taken away, like Jordan Peterson for openly criticizing or questioning gender or misgendering or dead naming. So
what was a C-19 bill or something like that?
Yeah, that's not too good.
This nation is led. This nation is led by a blackface aficionado named Justin Trudeau, and he's lecturing us about hate. I mean, look at your own house. Is he Canadian? I forget what national.
No, Jesse Marsh. No, Jesse Marsh is American.
He's American. Yeah,
he's American, but he coaches.
He's coaching the
Canadian team. Coaching the Canadian men's national team.
Yeah.
And again, these. Yeah. I mean, these generational. It's like the left is crashing out.
Yes,
the left is crashing out, and they don't understand why they're losing the culture. They don't understand why everybody hates them now. They don't. I mean, this has been building. Yeah. You got people locked up here in the United States, and you got people fired. I was just talking to a friend of mine who was a lieutenant with the NYPD. Okay, the guy was fired from his job.
Damn good.
I'm sorry. He went into. He was forced into early retirement because he wouldn't take the COVID shot. He wouldn't take the clock shot.
Many such cases.
Forced into retirement. Told me a story today about how the doctor. Okay, the doctor he went to initially about the shot was like, listen, if your antibodies are high enough, you might not have to take it, but just wait. 2 weeks later, it's take the shot or you're fired.
Yeah.
My body, my choice.
Authoritarianism.
That's why. Exactly. That's why the country hates you.
Yeah. Okay? My Muppet, my choice. Absolutely.
My Muppet. When I'll give you another example.
You choose what goes up your ass. Really, it's your choice.
I don't always choose. Sometimes.
Nostril, keep that for the X-rated show at 11.
Exactly. We are.
I'm still training this guy.
We're gonna get demonetized.
Right. Shoot. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's my fault.
So another example is is congestion pricing here in New York City.
Yeah.
The government of New York openly engaging in economic apartheid by taking the lower half of Manhattan below 60th Street and basically say, if you want to drive through our city, through the local streets, you got to pay $9.
Yeah.
Never mind that our roads and bridges and everything else are already paid for by our taxes.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, no. It's like, it was like so now that Secretary Duffy of the new Secretary of Transportation with USDOT, he removed the authorization that the state of New York needed to even implement congestion pricing in the first place. He took that away, and leftoids all over the country for whom congestion pricing was a big part of their agenda just started crashing out. And I'll give, and if you want a good example of how bad a crash out and just how genuinely uncool these people are, I give you our esteemed governor of the state of New York, Kathy Hochul.
You have a major conflict. I want you to process this distinction here. The Trump administration has said that it should be up to the states to decide whether women can control their own bodies, right? States should decide whether they should control their own bodies. But they're telling me as a state that I can't control my own traffic, that I have to go to them for approval to control traffic in New York City and deal with a paralyzing congestion problem that we're trying to, after decades of people talking about it, we finally got it done. And guess what? It is working.
Everybody, look, I'm sure most people in New York want to pay $9 every time they go downtown. That's got to be popular.
Adam, here's the thing. Here's the part that she leaves out. She got authorization from the federal government in the first place.
Thank you.
So why are you acting like, oh, I have to go to the government and they have to tell me what to do? Bitch, you didn't complain when you got the okay.
Exactly.
If you just got the okay, you wouldn't be complaining.
Hypocrites.
So now that you got somebody coming.
But it's even worse than that. It's even worse than that because congestion pricing involves another state. Your state, Adam. Because remember, there are two Hudson River crossings. For those who don't know, there are two Hudson River crossings that go into Manhattan below 60th Street, and that's the Lincoln and the Holland tunnels, two of the busiest Hudson River crossings that exist. And in the benevolent wisdom of the state, right? Because the state is God, according to these assholes. Instead of $9, they charge Jersey residents or people coming from Jersey $6. I saved you 33% when it was like, again, this is so again, you needed the federal authorization in the first place because it involved another state. But now all of a sudden it's states' rights and like why can't we do what we want to do with our own roads and state sovereignty? You involved Jersey, you involved another state. You have people right now. All three of us represent the tri-state in some way: New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey, right? Why on earth would you not need federal authorization if people are crossing directly into the economic apartheid zone? It's ridiculous. And it's so uncool. And then she tries to tie it into abortion. Like, fucking really? Like, out of all of the uncool things to do, you make an abortion a women like a bodily autonomy reference. You try to tie that in. Like, it's just awful. Just awful.
Jeez.
Edgar, wake up.
Oh, I'm
Hey,
sorry.
stop pulling your pud back there. What are you doing, man?
No. What I'm doing is, listen, this local issue conversation got me so bored I started to draw some cocks. So I'm sorry.
Oh,
well. I mean, okay.
Well,
I mean, that's.
Oh, shoot. Or now
that's
we're
your answer.
demonetized. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
I'm sure it makes
Oh.
you reduces your anxiety. I'm sure.
I'm sorry. I don't know nothing about New York, so I got bored, so I draw.
I got you. I'm sorry. No. Well.
But now you know something.
I'm a
but the reason
child.
why I brought it up.
I like to
The reason why
draw.
I brought it. I see. It's all. Like the evidence is all over the place.
It's nostril,
But like,
Mama. Hi, Mama.
Hi, is that Mama?
Look, nostril. Look
Did
at
you
all the
draw my
nipples.
Mama?
Look at all the nipples.
Oh my god.
There's an array of
look at
nipples.
that.
And there's
My mama's a
thing
chicken
to
with
do
18
that.
nipples.
This is the first weenie I drew right there.
Oh
Makes
my
sense.
god.
Yeah.
I'll block
Wait,
it.
that dragon's got a wee now.
It's a special dragon. It's magical.
It's a trans dragon.
So, right. But like,
don't insult my dragon or I'll not block it.
So
Ooh, oh my God.
I at the risk of boring Edgar again.
I'm sorry. I'm so immature.
We're talking again. Like this is.
I'll start doing
the only reason why
I get tired.
This is. I say I'm sorry, but like this right here is even more proof. Again, it's a mountain of evidence that I'm compiling today and really all week, and then sometimes the evidence just comes to you. So apparently, yesterday there were protests, not in a federal building, not in any governmental place.
Nope.
But at Tesla dealerships.
Amazing. He doesn't even own much of Tesla either. It's so stupid.
It's Tesla dealerships.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show. So this is what was going on. So the Tesla dealership here in New York City is in the meatpacking district. That's right. It's right below 14th Street.
Yep.
On the west side of Manhattan.
Yep.
And imagine it was a nice Sunday. It was a nice Saturday. 50 some degrees out around noon, and this is what these people were fucking doing.
You guys want to leave? You're looking at it. But sometimes you start doing readings and stuff, and then you just
goofiest fucking people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. You notice they don't protest Starlink or SpaceX or any of the really cool, useful stuff. No, they're doing the easy, cheesy one. It's pathetic, and gosh, nothing says grassroots like pre-printed signs by the thousands.
There you
Pathetic.
go. Oh, and if you were wondering, yes, like the whole thing, it looked about white to me because this also happened.
Why do you think you have the right to stop me from going in there? Why? I'm just coming to test drive a car. That's all I did. I came to test drive a vehicle, and I simply can't test drive a vehicle. No, listen. Aside from politics, I've come to just test drive a vehicle in the United States of America, and we can't even test drive a vehicle. This is so unfair. Like, why do you have to impede on people's regular life? We're not doing anything. I'm coming to test drive a car. I get people want their freedom of speech, but why are you blocking the way to get in? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You guys aren't courageous. You guys aren't courageous in what you're doing. You're impeding on our way of life as a regular citizen in this country.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. I saw a reporter friend of mine behind that dude, Elad Eliyahu, in the blue, holding up the camera. I was just saying, like, I was so overcome with a wave of friendship. So, but yeah, sorry.
It's very nice.
Adam,
yeah, sorry, irrelevant. Beside the point.
No, that's fine. That's cool. Adam,
Was that guy faking it? Was that guy faking it just to get in?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Did he look like he could afford a Tesla?
He
Dude,
does
it's New
look like a
York.
guy who would drive a Tesla.
I mean, he would have
does.
better dreads. He would have better dreads if he could afford a Tesla. He would have like maybe a little bit more. They're a little floppy, weren't they? I don't have dreads.
That's on purpose.
Nah.
I will
say
invite again, didn't I? Dang it.
No. Listen, no, because it's New York.
Yeah.
The nutty, like, I'll be honest, I've lived here for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
The sights that I've seen here when it comes to people with money and yeah, they look like anything. They look like anything. So, but I think that could have been a thing. Probably wasn't, but it was just ridiculous. But again, like that's that uncool factor about these people. I mean, who like these are leftists. These are not like these are people who went from like these were the counterculture people in the 1960s.
Yes.
Like these were the ones who were the activists and all this other shit. And now look at them. Pre-printed signs, lots of big money behind them.
Useful idiots.
Listen, how are we going to defeat them? Through ridicule, through just de-pantsing them in public, but also a little bit of love. I think they need love. I think they need to be heard out. I think that's what turned me, that's what turned me. I used to be a raging liberal. That's why I'm blue in color, but I gradually got rid of it. Yeah.
Another apostate here.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you have to believe that you can reach these people, because I was reached.
Have we had any guest that wasn't?
How did you? I don't think so.
Wasn't a former liberal.
I don't think so.
I don't think we have.
Well, you know what? That's a great a great segue, Edgar. Like, tell it. Like, how did that happen for you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, man. Oh God, I'm afraid of boring your audience.
No, go ahead.
It's just the lies started to pile up. Oh, we're going to roll out Obamacare. It's going to be so well done. And it sucked. Oh, we're going to 2 weeks to slow the spread. It didn't. And it sucked. And they ended up being authoritarian. By their works, you shall know them. I think there's a famous book that said that. Might have been Star Trek. I forget. But yeah, it just eventually the bullshit piled so high like a stack of pancakes. And then it fell over. And it's just like, oh my God, you guys are full of shit. Full of poo-poo.
They're full of poo-poo.
It's a dumb. Yeah. My red pilling origin story is really dumb. I'll work on a better one for next.
I'm familiar.
It's okay.
It's kind of boring.
I mean, Adam. I don't think I've ever asked you. Like, what's your like? How did you become this? Even this pragmatic, even even dealing guy. Like, because you used to be a liberal as well. Like a really, really like deep liberal. No.
No, I would say I'm not that different than what I was years ago. I'm relative, depending on what the issue is, I'm relatively liberal. There's only like one or two things that I completely changed my mind on, which was abortion. I used to be pro-choice, I'm like radically pro-life.
Yeah. And happens.
But outside of that, like I've always been pro-free speech.
Yeah.
I've always
Adam, did the party switch? Democrats used to be pro-free speech, freedom, etc. Did they switch? Yeah. Like if you were a Clinton voter or an Obama voter circa 2008, you are now a right-wing Nazi. That's how far things have shifted. Like if you were just a normal run-of-the-mill Democrat, you care about kids. You really care about kids, and you don't want them to read a book about fisting or anything in school. That you are now a right-wing Nazi. That's how far it's come. They went insane. That's what red pilled a lot of people. They went nuts.
Agreed, brother.
say
Yeah.
that the reason
Sorry,
why
speaking to the choir here. How do we change them? How do we reach them? I don't know.
Adam, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the reason why Trump has mass appeal is because Trump is a throwback Democrat. I mean, just like
He is.
almost. I mean, his demeanor is that's just how he's always been. But the stuff that he's advocating for, he's a throwback Democrat.
Common sense.
I think that the parties haven't necessarily switched. What happened was what became important for the Democrats changed. What became important for them was catering to the upper class, a thing that the Republicans used to be known for, right? So catering to the upper class, pretending that Obama didn't increase the amount of foreign conflicts and becoming the pro-war party.
Yeah.
The list goes on, catering to
Identity politics.
Catering to identity politics, which is
Vote
mostly
virtue
brought on by
signaling.
the leftists.
Yep.
The leftist class. So their priorities changed. And as the Republican Party was dying, here comes Donald Trump to resuscitate it by bringing back the things that the Democrats abandoned.
Exactly.
And actually doing it better only from the simple fact that, especially in this term, he's actually doing those things.
Yeah. His hostile takeover of the Republican Party was remarkable because they weren't cool beforehand. They sucked.
Right.
They're a bunch of dicks beforehand. And he did a hostile takeover. He could have run as a Democrat, probably won. But it was amazing. It was just an anti-narrative, anti-deep state, anti-authoritarian, and anti-war. And
I think what brought Trump along originally, and again probably, but originally especially, was wokeness did, because like he was the one guy during like one of the peaks of wokeness in 2015, 16, or he's just going to say whatever he wants to say, like an old school dude would.
Yeah.
And
How
everybody's like,
horrifying.
oh yeah, good. She's finally, somebody's saying it. Good. I thought we were
They
crazy.
were so horrified.
Everybody was silent, afraid to lose their job, afraid to lose their friends, afraid to lose their family, their girlfriend, you name it. And he came out and started saying some wild shit that actually a lot of guys would say. A lot of guys would say, as a joking around together, but you can get fired for jokes before.
Yeah,
he's definitely anti-establishment too.
Yeah, he said crazy stuff, and they just went, ooh. Yeah. They melted, and they're still melting 8 years later.
And I think the energy from the Tea Party and the energy from the even like Occupy Wall Street to an extent probably came together to Trump. Very anti-establishment. The one guy who might do something different, which he's proving that's the case so far.
Yeah. He was, unlike Hillary, unlike Hillary, unlike Biden, he wasn't preoccupied with bombing the crap out of or imprisoning brown people. It was a little different, something different for you all. Yeah. Whenever people go like, "Oh, Trump is a Nazi," I go like, dude, you went to bat for a guy who never met a brown person he didn't want to bomb or imprison. So just take a seat. Cuck.
Ah.
Right there in the cuck chair.
Yeah,
Sit
right.
in the cuck chair.
Sit in the cuck chair, little bitch.
Get in the cuck chair right now. Get back to your cuck chair. Cuck chair.
Go ahead, dude. What were you gonna say?
Sorry.
I was gonna say when you were asking me what really opened up my worldview.
Yeah.
So the thing, that's why I said I haven't changed much. Obviously, we were discussing the parties to change, but I haven't personally changed much. My viewpoints are relatively the same. I think what ended up happening was I was so focused on the mainstream media sources, and so I would take that. You know me. I'm analytical, so I take the information I'm given, I analyze it, I come up with a viewpoint based off of that, right? But if the information that you're given is bad information or slanted or half of the story, half of a perspective, or even worse, you're getting an accurate representation about the left, but about the right is through a left-wing filter that is biased, and it has an aggressive tone towards the right-wing position, always takes the most bad faith interpretation of what they want to do. then you're not getting the full story. You're not getting the full picture. And the thing that really broke it open for me was the good people on both sides. When I realized that probably about it was like a couple of years afterwards.
The very fine people thing.
Yeah.
Very fine
Yeah.
people thing.
Yeah. Charlottesville. Yeah.
Yeah, you look at the full quote. They never play the full quote. You know, and when I'm talking about the neo-Nazis or white supremacists, because they should be condemned totally, they always leave that out.
And Obama repeated it last fall, I think. Yeah.
A prominent reporter from like an unnamed Bay Area paper who just said, well, no, you know, he's still a racist. That doesn't count. Like, they are so programmed. Ultra. And this is a freaking journalist.
I'll never forget.
They've gone insane.
I'm sorry. I had a guy, like a friend of mine, who, matter of fact, I think he's a coworker of mine, and I asked him directly. I said, if Trump was so evil, why would he tell you what your government has been what your government has been spending money on?
Yeah.
If Trump was this racist, this white supremacist, this evil man, would he have thanked Black and Hispanic people for their vote in his inauguration speech?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yeah, he didn't have to. I mean, nobody
didn't
would have
have
noticed.
to.
Nobody would have
No
noticed.
one would have. No one would have noticed. No, right. No one would have noticed.
Maybe MSNBC would be like, he didn't mention Black people once, or something like that.
But think about this.
Friend to every rapper.
Right. He thanks Black and brown people by, like, specifically in his inauguration speech.
Yeah.
Had a big thing down in DC not this weekend, but last weekend. Okay, that a lot of Black conservative influencers were at. So so my thing is, if this guy was so evil, if this guy was this drastically like disgusting human being, why would he have done all that? Like, I've never understood.
I don't care what you say. He's a racist.
Yeah, racist.
Hitler.
Not being racist, I think.
They always go back to the Central Park Five. They always go back to the Central Park Five. The full page ad that he took out.
Yep.
Okay. They always let people, and they always let all the other people involved in damn near putting those kids away. They let them off the hook because they're Democrats. They were all Democrats. Even Trump was a Democrat at the time. So what's going on here?
And they elected Biden, who has a long laundry list of racist shit that he said. We shared a couple times on here.
Oh yeah.
Openly racist shit.
Oh, yeah.
Openly racist. Very proudly.
Openly racist. We are talking about a guy who flat out told Black people, if you have a problem deciding between me and Trump, then you ain't Black.
Yeah. And
which led Adam to create his own country.
Yeah. And
Republic,
poor kids are just as smart as white
Republic
kids.
of Ain't Blackistan.
Exactly.
So,
it's terrible.
At least there's some good that came out of that, right, Adam?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer not, but
you gotta make it work now, man.
Yeah.
But so I got another thing, and this is something that that Nos actually put me on to. Remember the movie Road Trip?
Yes.
Anybody remember the movie Road Trip?
Tom Green.
And not just for the late Mia Amber Davis, God rest her soul.
I don't even know who it is. Let me see.
Mia Amber Davis.
I'll look her up right now. I'm looking her up.
Adam, you should know who I'm talking about.
First
off, she the big girl? Oh yeah, I remember her. She was cute.
She was real cute. Yeah. But Tom Green was
she died? That's sad, man.
She died years ago. But everybody remembered her because of something very, very big in that movie. But here's the thing. Tom Green, who was honestly, he was iconic in that movie.
He
We
was
all
hilarious
remember.
back in the day. Yeah.
We all remember when he's trying to entice the snake. He's watching the snake, and he's got the guitar in his hand. He's going through, unleash the fury, unleash the So this is him now. Like Tom Green had a cool factor about him. Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Green had a cool factor about him.
Yep. For a
and
Back in the
for
day,
a while.
like 20
Back in
years
the day,
ago.
yeah.
It was the
and
90s, baby. Anything goes.
Yeah, but I want to show you what this guy is up to now and what he's advocating. Watch.
That's crazy.
Oh boy.
The music I have, and they can't change it because you see they do change songs because woke Canadian assholes, for example, are the type of people who don't believe in free speech, like they don't anymore in Germany or England. And so, like, they will change songs. I saw.
We have freedom of speech in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
Yeah. Well, you got to fight for it.
You can say whatever we want up there.
Well, okay. I
Yeah,
hope so. Because I
think it's a little overblown. There was a
The arrested ministers, Tom.
something about sharing news on.
No, it's not Canada,
social
but
media.
England has arrested people for opinions on the internet.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not down with that. And so
I think
is
there's
Germany.
been some misinformation about me getting all Canadian right now, but there's been some misinformation about Canadian freedom of speech, though, that's been floating around out there. Like we've got freedom of speech in Canada. It's in our Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We have freedom of the press, freedom of assembly.
Yeah, well, just because something is in a charter, I mean, we have it
England's
too.
got a
and
Magna
Trump is
Carta,
threatening that, and sometimes the
But
left is threatening that.
I've
too.
never experienced a situation where I can't say something up there. There are hate speech laws in Canada, so there are things you can't say.
Yeah.
But you know what? Who would want to say that shit anyway?
That's the puck moment.
That's not what free speech means.
Right. It's a
That's
slight.
why-
It's a slight. But there's a
reason,
there's a
you know-
clearly defined
Look at 'em.
definition of what hate
Who would want to
speech
say that
is.
shit anyway?
It's not
Yeah.
overreaching, it's fairly
I mean,
specific. That's so
The-
it's
the
not
Supreme
really
Court-
pretty much say anything you want except for extreme things that you would not agree with, I would think, and that nobody would really want to agree with.
Who's a defined
No,
extreme?
civilized
no.
society.
You don't know what free speech is then. You don't know.
Well,
That's
it's
not what
true.
free speech is. That's
Okay.
the definition of not free speech.
Okay.
Like what everybody thinks. Not everybody thinks the same. The Supreme Court ruled in
The
our
only
country
thing he's thinking of is the drink.
that the Nazis,
No, yeah. He's
Could
going to go
march
home and watch them
in
just
Skokie,
T-bone his
Illinois.
wife.
Yeah.
which they were marching in because it is a community of a lot of Holocaust survivors, many of whom were still alive at the time.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court said, as abhorrent as that is, that is what free speech is about. Anybody can defend the speech that we all like, but sometimes it changes what people like, and you just don't want to be limited that way. Now, if you are literally inciting violence or kiddie porn or something like that, yes, there are things, and they're already illegal. But it gets very dangerous in my view.
There was a
Can you believe that?
If I can just add one thing in here, and this is also, if you ask like what's changed between Adam today, maybe Adam of 6-7 years ago, it's growing in skepticism of the government and understanding that you may love the government today, but that is not guarantee in 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, however long, that the changes that the government you like make today won't be taken advantage of tomorrow. And so with someone like Tom Green, it's like, well, I mean, these are things that you definitely wouldn't want to say. Okay. Well, who gets to determine what's hate speech?
Yes, exactly. And
that's the ultimate question.
right there.
Saying a man's not a woman is
Big
hate
thing.
speech in a lot of these countries.
Yeah, you
And
know
that's,
what?
that's a fact. The man is not a woman. That's a fact.
Whenever
So,
anyone
but that's hate
uses the
speech.
term, whenever anyone uses the term misinformation, ask them, what is a woman? Gets them every time.
Asking about asking children.
It freezes
asking, like,
them.
should we
It
be
does.
really pushing gender indoctrination on children and teaching this like young little children that in schools and in elementary school, and then maybe putting them on puberty blockers and then pushing them towards thinking they need to cut off their fucking genitals to make themselves feel better when they have mental
gotta-
illness or autism?
get your
That's
kids off the
considered
internet.
hate speech
Get 'em off
in
the
these
internet.
countries, and you can get arrested for that.
Yeah.
You can have the cops come to your house. You can be in
Yeah.
front of a human rights tribunal.
Tom Green has
people
something to say,
questioning
he's
that
all the
are
right
right.
things, he's not in trouble. So he can't imagine
People
anyone
questioning
else.
that are right.
Yeah. Tom Green is a cuck, right? We've established that.
I look at it this way. And I'm going to echo Adam's sentiment. Who gets to decide what is free speech? Who gets to decide what is hate speech?
No.
Why on earth would I want the people who believe that men can be women based on nothing but say so?
Isaiah, right now it would be right now it would be Trump and or the right wing Supreme Court if we had these laws on the book, if I'm not mistaken. Or, depending on the jurisdiction, how it's done, but like that's the ultimate authority. So this is how stupid these people are, how nearsighted they are to be like, oh no, we'll just whoever the government decides. Like, you're not always going to be in power, dummies. And right now you think you have Hitler in the White House. Do you want him to decide? Literal Hitler to decide what's hate speech? Because there's so much hateful speech towards white people, towards straight people, towards Christians, towards Republicans, towards conservatives, towards libertarians, towards moderates that question things. That's hate speech, technically, if you want to, depending on who's defining it.
Wait, I have uttered a lot of hate speech towards white liberal women. Am I in trouble?
Yes.
Like, I've specifically targeted them. They are the worst.
They are. They are indeed.
Everything I just listed aren't protected groups, I guess, is the way they would. That's probably.
They're not protected. You can say anything you want about them.
This is what bothers me. This is what bothers me. Seriously.
Only one thing.
The fact that they really thought themselves enlightened and powerful enough to tell people what they can say.
Yeah.
And direct, like, it breaks my heart whenever I hear of people in the UK losing their job, like literally getting visited by the police and carried out of their homes like common criminals. You would think these people were running fucking Ponzi schemes out of their living rooms. Carried out like common criminals over Facebook posts. Carried out of their homes, arrested over, and then to make matters worse, they threatened to arrest Americans. They threatened to arrest Americans. Like, y'all really, I firmly believe that if Kamala Harris had won the last year's election, I firmly believe that she would have turned the UK into a prison colony for Americans who offended their sacred cows.
They want.
I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that.
Britain
because
suffers from
Britain is
terrible, and
Britain
and
has fallen so bad.
It's so sad they've lost. There's the empathy epidemic. It's white girls. Look, it's white girls. They did it. British white girls. They voted for this stuff. I'm sorry. They're to blame. It's true. Sorry, that's hate speech.
It is. D plus
probably is mostly true. Yeah.
You called me. You said something, Adam?
Yeah, I gotta head out.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you have somewhere better to go, Adam?
Well, I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate. Well, Adam, I really appreciate you coming by, dude.
I'm just kidding. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, everybody, get Adam's new book, man.
Yeah, Adam. I'll buy you a
Children
book.
We
I'm
Left
sorry
Behind.
I talked so much. I'm sorry. I love you.
Shut the hell up. Shut your mouth.
I love you. I love you.
I love you too.
Adam, I'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk later, bro.
Bye.
Appreciate you, brother.
I love you.
Till next time, man. Have a good night.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
You guys want to shoot
Hey,
the shit
little
some more?
buddy.
Hi, buddy. How are you doing?
So
I'm all jumpy. I thought it'd last 15 minutes, but I haven't had to pee as predicted. I've not had to pee.
Hey, I hear having a hand up your ass can really block your bladder.
Let me tell you. I pee little felt raindrops. They just come out my bottom hole, and then they get swept up and made. Yep, and then
That's
get put
nice,
back in there. Yep, it's a circle, circle of life.
So I like that. The puppet biology lesson is really enlightening. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Edgar.
Speaking of, how's your mom? No, just kidding. Anyway.
Stop rubbing her 8 nipples.
Let's do a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's past my bedtime. I can count that.
I'm really good with numbers, bro.
Are you? What's 4 times?
Especially your mom's number.
Damn it! You got me.
Wow.
Got it memorized.
So I was actually hoping to talk to Adam before he left.
I'm sorry, I screwed that up. Isaiah, I screwed the pooch. I ruined your interview.
We're still
friends. We're still friends.
I'm sorry.
But no,
cookout. I know that much.
Just send me a pussy hat, man, and it'll all be forgiven.
You want me to buy your clothes now? Come on, man.
Oh my god,
it's a gift. It's a gift.
I got to buy you underpants.
So,
what else do you need?
So we got to talk about this. I'm sorry. I'm actually. All
right. Sorry.
Oh boy, the one thing that that everybody's been talking about this weekend was
the Grammys,
the pantsing of a dictator,
or the Oscars.
The Oscars. Fuck the Oscars.
Oh yeah,
everybody's been talking about the Oscars.
Are the Oscars on right now?
Listen.
All right, never mind.
We got a lot of trans women movie awards to give out.
Exactly. That move there, that particular movie is going to win them all. Just go ahead and
no, it won't. She said bad things about Islam, and that's a protected
right.
class. It's not going to make it. I love it. It's called great cognitive dissonance.
Yes, I love it. Intersectionality, man.
The one thing Trump should have done is just go full force and say, what's it called? Ellen Perez. I don't know.
Elena,
this movie, it's so blotto, you should vote it in, etc. But that would have messed him up. I love the cognitive dissonance, though. I love them having a Hobson's choice between 2 bad choices. It's very amusing.
I mean that's been the entertainment industry for the last 5-10 years. I mean, when has Disney made a good movie? In the like Disney Marvel. Again, I am convinced.
You're breaking.
I am convinced Marvel was dead after Endgame. So,
I still maintain faith that Marvel can turn the ship a little bit at least.
They will. The new Fantastic Four looks pretty cool. It's retro. They'll probably travel.
That looks cool. I hate the fact that they have a female Silver Surfer, though. I hope that's just like a one-off.
No, man. Silver titties. Do not knock silver titties.
I know. I do want to see that. I'm a big Silver Surfer fan, man. So I got to see more in Rad.
Look, silver. Look, come on, man.
Silver. I have nothing against Silver Express.
Just hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Silver titties.
I know. Okay. Yeah. You're kind of winning me over.
Give me silver titties now.
When you put it that way.
So we got to talk about
Sorry,
Zelensky.
Him?
We got to talk about Zelensky.
Are we going to talk about
Zelensky? Zelensky got pantsed on live television, and honestly, and the backlash that has come after that has been a sight to behold.
Yep.
But for those who, if you haven't seen it already. Here is Volodymyr Zelensky, the current dictator of Ukraine, along with President Trump and JD Vance, and basically this was a deal that turned into an intervention. Watch
this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I will respond to this. So look, For 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied it, our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014
2014.
and 2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think
called him a bitch.
To come
he called
to
him
the
a
Oval
bitch
Office
in
the
Russian.
United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent
You are a bitch,
the destruction
yes.
of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm
You're
serious,
playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing
I'm very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You're
gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you.
your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Insane. Absolutely insane. So
You are a bitch, JD Vance.
So I have our good friend has arrived.
Edgar, stop texting, man. Come on.
No, Donald Trump just truthed something about this.
Really?
Yeah, he truthed we should spend
Hold
less
it.
money.
Hold it. Hold it.
I
Hold it.
invite
Hold it.
your
Hold
friend
it. Hold it.
first.
Whoa. We got to guess.
Right. We got my good friend, the host of the Not Going Back podcast, Phenom, and our good friend of the show, Miss Evan Barker.
Oh, you remember her?
Hey, Ev.
Oh yeah, hi Evan. How are you, hon?
Hey. Oh, one
Are you
second.
texting too, Evan?
Uh-oh, Evan, get ready quick.
Oh, hold on. I'll drop you down. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
so,
Evan. They insisted on showing you that. I tried to read something, but they said no. Let's show Evan unprepared. Because that's how we roll at Apostate Radio.
Isaiah, this falls on you, man.
What? Oh, I cursed the show by drawing cocks. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. Actually,
Not my
cover
fault.
that up when the lady comes on. All right, Puppet Edgar.
Huh?
Oh,
Cover that
okay.
thing up.
Okay, hold on.
Cover that little missile up.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, I really,
Does this look okay?
I
Do I look natural?
this is crazy. This is crazy.
Zelensky.
Our show is just off the rails, just totally off the rails,
Well,
and I'm okay with it.
Cock block.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have blue people on your show, man.
Sorry.
What's that?
So that's what happens when you have blue people on your show, man.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Smurfette. Keep us away.
So while we wait for Evan to get ready.
Poor Evan.
Nos, your thoughts on your thoughts on this whole Zelensky situation.
Zelensky, it was crazy, man. That was I remember I tweeted about it. It was briefly. It was very intense, man. That's like I never seen anything like that, quite like that, between a president, vice president, and a president of a another nation, which is also in the middle of a very high profile war. That got intense, man. I got heated. You prefer not to see stuff like that. I think in the White House, you prefer people to be more buttoned up and everything. But I think Zelensky messed up big time, right? I think he, you can't be sitting there trying to, litigate things with the president and vice president. Somebody you need the United States of America. You need our money, our weapons, our military. But you need everything we have, and to be sitting there trying to make them look bad, like what you're dealing with Trump, pragmatically. Maybe Trump said some things that weren't true. I don't know, but it's like pragmatically, it's like you don't go on there and be like, actually, you're wrong, President Trump. Actually, you're wrong, JD Vance. It's like that's dumb. Like you're gonna try to humiliate them on TV. Just sit there, smile, nod your head for your own country. That's really the smart thing to do, because Trump's he's gonna tear you a new one, especially his freaking his guard dog there, JD Vance, is even worse, man. JD Vance shreds people apart, man, everywhere he goes. So like it just doesn't make sense to. It was bad diplomacy, even if I know he was annoyed. He probably heard some stuff he didn't feel was true. I know he doesn't like Trump so much. It seems like he doesn't like the administration. He liked Biden better. But it's like, bro, you screwed up, man. You screwed up big time. And now you have to come hat in hand. You might have an even worse deal now, because now you have to. He got kicked out of the White House, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He tried to come back that day or something, or the next day, and I think Trump said no. So it's like now you got to really kiss his ass.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got to be. You got to be. Yeah, he said basically you have to be serious about peace. And that's the thing. And I think go ahead, Pop. Go ahead, Edgar.
Yeah, Edgar. It's okay. It's worth noting the power of a beard. Imagine JD Vance all baby-faced saying that without the full might and power of an American beard. Like how he would have seemed like not serious. And I congratulate you both on your facial hair. It's intimidating me a little bit. I think it's an effective political advice. Ted Cruz without a beard looks like a serial killer. JD Vance without a beard looks like a big baby. I think beards rule. If you're going to rule the world, have a big ass beard.
You need to have a beard, bro.
Beard that.
That's a great point. Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh my god.
Speaking of, where's our friend?
Oh wait, no, hold on. Okay, so Ev, are you ready? Are you ready? Hold on. I think she's ready. Evan.
Hey. Oh my god, you guys, I'm so sorry I'm late. I impromptu jumped on a space, a lefty space. I was talking to some Democrats, y'all, and basically it's the first time I've really gone and I've talked to my old scene, and they wanted to know why I voted for Trump and how they could win me back. And you know what happened? There was one logical person on that call, and that was the guy who invited me, and he was very nice and he was very kind and he was very fair, and he kept, all these women from jumping down my throats. But basically, as soon as I got on and I laid out to them why I voted the way I voted, what the Democratic Party's done wrong, they just immediately started telling me that I was like full of privilege and like talking about white men and just all this crazy and not even listening to me at all. When I say that they're too far to the left on abortion. I'm like, why can't you all be moderate? Why can't you just be like in the middle? Why do you have to be so extreme? Why do you want to have abortions up to the day of delivery? Like, why? And then they immediately just scream at me. And my parting words for them were, like, you guys talk about MAGA, you basically, you call them all Nazis, you talk about them like they're horrible. But I got to say something to you. When I have disagreed with people on the right in the last couple of weeks about things like healthcare and things like Medicaid, nobody attacks me. Nobody starts screaming at me. Yep. They want to understand. They want to hear my perspective. They want to hear me out. Okay. Like it is such a cultural difference. Like you're allowed to think differently on the right. You are not allowed to think differently on the left. And that's the last thing I said.
Evan, emphasis on disagreement is hate.
Well done, well stated.
Yeah.
And it was sick. I'm sorry, you guys. It was like, oh, I gotta go. Like, even though I'm agreeing with you guys on some of these issues, like you were just so nuts. And just so like you just talk to me like telling me that I have disinformation in my head. It's like, fuck you. I worked for candidates up close and personal for over 12 years of my life. I probably know more about the internal mechanisms of the Democratic Party than any of you. Go fuck yourself. So that's what I just came out of.
I'm glad you got the vent after us, right on Apostate Radio.
Yep. It was good though. It's good to go talk to people you don't agree with, right? So
good might be a strong word with them, but
I had a similar situation this weekend. I've been called unhinged over on Facebook by a couple of people. Guys I work with.
I could see that.
Guys I work with. That told me that. I mean, well, sure, but maybe a little, especially when I have a beard. But something you said, Evan, when you said the culture, there is such an emphasis on cult.
Yes,
the left is a cult now.
Dogmatic.
Okay? When a very dogmatic cult. They have honestly become a cult of the state. When you have I tell people, like, I'm not going to try to change your mind. Okay. I won't try to change your mind because I recognized a while ago, I cannot change people. Okay. The information, whatever. But like you try to tell these people, you hit them with facts, you show them exactly why the Democrat Party is a train wreck right now and is hemorrhaging voters, hemorrhaging supporters.
Yep.
They don't want to hear it. The first thing they want to say is, well, how come you can't say anything bad about Trump? Because I'm not talking about Trump.
Yeah, they actually did. They tried to frame it. They're like, what could Trump do that would just make you not ever want to vote Republican? I was like, okay, let's not isolate Donald Trump and make him the entire GOP, okay?
Well,
because I think
they're obsessed with him.
I mean, to them, right? He is, but it's like he is actually quite different to me than like a typical old school Republican, and I think that's what they don't understand. And immediately it was like disinformation. You have disinformation in your mind. They were talking about what they did wrong. They were trying to figure out what they did wrong and why they've been losing. And all I heard was disinformation. I heard they think we're communists and we need to do some education. That's what they said. We need to do some re-education in South Florida. That's what they said. And they were talking about putting up billboards to be able to educate people on what real communism is. And
just call them racist. That's what they've been doing the last 8 years. Time to educate you, racist.
And thirdly, they said, what was the other thing? They said, messaging. They said, we just have bad messaging. We just need to figure out our messaging. And it's like,
because that's all. That is honestly that is the only conclusion that they ever come to. They really do believe their entire issues with voters and with the wider culture in general. It's just communications. It's just comms. We have to have better comms. We have to do things better. Like we have to get our message out there.
Yeah. So
we've heard your fucking message. We've heard your message. We've seen your actions. We know what y'all are about. You're not about the good of the country. You are only about the good of the state and expanding the power of said state to take charge, to oppress your political enemies.
Yep.
Namely, anybody who voted for Trump. It's ridiculous.
They should have asked you, Evan. Hang on a second, puppet.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Edgar. Was my tone a little strong for you, buddy?
No.
He was a little. Evan, you got to see how this began, okay? Because me and Puppet Edgar, we're kind of in a roller coaster relationship right now.
Okay.
He started with a very racist joke in the beginning of our
Puppet.
this episode.
I forgave you for the racist joke.
And he drew a picture of my mother in a form of a dragon.
This is Nostril's mother.
So.
Behold,
all I wanted to say, hey, cover up that thing there, man.
Oh, sorry, you did not see that.
We have a lady on the.
You have a lady on the call.
Evan, do not look at that. That's not. Evan,
don't look at it.
Don't look at it.
Cover it up.
Evan, do not go into the light. Oh, sorry.
Would you just paste some paper over that?
Oh my God!
God damn you, Edgar. So hey, anyways,
bro. Well, and the other thing
I just want to say, hold on. They should have asked you instead of what could Trump do to make you lose it. What could the Democrats do to win back some people's votes? Like that's the question. What can you guys do? That's what you should be asking. Stop worrying about Trump. Worry about why people don't trust you. Why people don't believe in you.
Yeah.
Like why people are picking Trump, who is a wild boy.
After this term, he's done. Like he can't run anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's like the GOP is going to have to figure out how to get their legs without him too.
Right.
But yeah, the Democrats are so focused on Trump. And I want to say this, the other thing that I tried to tell them is that this woman, as she was talking to me, she immediately goes to like, those white men who passed those laws against women to not allow them to have abortions into the third trimester. And then the man that was mediating the call, the one like sane person on the call actually, immediately goes, well, as a man, I don't really feel like I have a right to have an opinion on this matter, and I should.
But you're gonna share it anyway.
And then he did, and I want to say, I'm like, you guys, this is why you're fucking stupid. Like, this is why people don't like you, is because you're over here making everything about race and gender, and you want to know why you just lost men. Why the Democratic Party lost men so horribly this election. You want to know why. And then you over here, the man on the call, are saying, as a man, I can't. I hate it when people say, like, because I'm not a part of this identity group, I don't get to have any opinion on anything related to this identity group. And it's like, shut the fuck up. You're a human being. Like, if you're a human being, you get to have an opinion.
The funny thing about that, Evan, too, is you'll notice that those people who say that have an opinion about every other identity group, and they're very happy to share it. Yeah. It's like they're very happy to talk about white people this, men this, Latinos better shut up, Jews that, and like that rule doesn't apply to everybody else. It's just like certain protected groups.
Right, exactly. When it's a silencing tactic, that's what it is.
And it's really actually political views is really like that's when they turn that on too. You know, if you're a person of a different race or group and you agree with them, then they're not going to pull that card out. But if you disagree with them, then it's like, oh my God, who the hell are you to say anything? You're not part of this group. It's crazy.
Hey, where's Adam? Is he already gone?
Yeah,
he had
Adam's got more important. He's a VIP. He's got more important things to do. You know,
I scared him
he's got a
away
book. He's got a book
when I
for it. Go on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he probably a little bit affected by that. Whatever the hell that satanic iconography you got there, Puppet
I
Edgar.
covered it up. I covered it up.
Looks like it's from the.
I covered it up.
You're touching it a lot.
Looks like it's from the set of True Detective.
I am not
or something.
touching it a lot, Evan.
You're touching it a lot.
What are you talking about?
You know,
stop touching that.
You know, to your point.
Sorry.
We should send Edgar to their space with his like.
Yes.
I want to.
Yeah, we should leave and
go over there.
Elvis is joining.
Wait,
that was funny.
You know what? I would actually. Here's the thing. I'd like to take a vote. Do we want to? We have two choices. What to do with these people? We can 1, heal them, or B, squash them. Who's for heal? Raise your hand.
I mean, I'm for. I don't want to squash them
I'm for
necessarily.
love. I'm for peace and love.
Okay, now who's for
Most
squash?
of them mean well.
Yeah, okay. No, Isaiah, do it like a Sieg Heil. Do it like a Sieg Heil. Do it. You gotta,
Oh no, 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 no,
there was an accident. I'm
We'll
sorry.
have Kanye on next if you do that, man.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's gonna be all be able to fucking get.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
That's the first time you've seen the man behind Edgar.
That's Kanye.
Oh, I missed him.
Kanye, right?
You asked for Kanye.
Okay, if Kanye comes on the show, I'm not in, guys. I can't come on the
Can't
show.
do it.
No.
I'll tell him no. He's been in my DMs lately. I'll tell him no.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to these leftists, when it comes to communists, because that's what they are. I am not for love with these people. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. And the reason why I'm not for loving them is because I know what they're capable of. The world knows what they're capable. Over 150 million people were put in the ground in the last 150 years. Okay. And I'm talking about I'm talking about like the Bolshevik Revolution. I'm talking about the Cultural Revolution in China. The Pol Pot. I'm talking the Cuba. Justin Trudeau. We're like Stalin's regime.
Son of Castro.
We're talking. I said Castro. And
I said the son of Castro, Justin Trudeau.
Son of Castro. Yeah. And Che Guevara, Romania. Romania, all of these places, we have so much evidence of how truly evil, like deathly evil, communism is. And now, and what's happening is this is the first time that these American communists, these fucking Maoists that have infected every single level of our government. I'm quoting
BLM
James
said
Lindsay.
so. BLM said so. They admitted it in video. They said they're Marxists, and then I don't know if you've ever seen this happen. Did you ever see this? Where there's was Patrice Cullors, I think her name is Patrice Cullors.
Oh my God, I cannot stand the Black Lives Matter lady who bought a $3 million house.
So she said we're trained Marxists, right? But in another video, she was bragging about how people said that their pamphlet or book was like Mao's Little Red Book. She's like, "Oh wow, thank you." It's like she's like really proud about that. It's like these are Maoists, literally, like just neo-Maoists.
They're quite literally
American Maoists. They are. They literally are. And you saw that with the struggle sessions they did. All the different things where they're trying to struggle sessions shame people, and they're taking down the statues. Almost forgot about that.
I've talked to people. I've talked to staffers. I've talked to staffers that work for squad members. I won't say which one because I signed NDAs and stuff.
Is it Ilhan Omar?
No, it was one of the other ones.
No,
I love her. I have a crush on her so big.
But anyway,
I the other day.
I would love to hear about it. No, but I talked to them. This was in like 2019. I think right before the BLM stuff and all that. And they said that their goal was a cultural revolution.
Yeah, that's Mao.
Like straight up. Like he straight up said that to me. We were sitting on a rooftop in Washington, D.C. with about 3 or 4 other far left elite type people and who did various things in D.C. and on the Hill. And he was drinking whiskey and he was talking to me and he goes, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. And he goes, the goal is cultural revolution. That's what we want.
And the proper response is, how long have you been a cuck?
And I remember thinking, like, I didn't really understand what he was saying. Does that make sense? Because I was a little naive to some of these things, actually. I didn't know.
And you can take it a different way.
I was sober. Right. I was sober.
I don't
Everyone else was.
I don't. You were drinking on a rooftop in D.C. You were drunk off your ass.
I would proudly tell you if I was drunk on my ass, but I actually been sober since 2017, 2018.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Girl, I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, it's okay.
I reserve my insults for nostril.
No, it's okay. You didn't insult me. It's fine.
Hold it. We are not. No, wait. I need to set a ground rule here. I gotta set boundaries here.
No snaps.
No fucking snapping.
I mean,
this is not a free Palestine rally. Okay. This ain't slam poetry. No. We clap like human beings. Okay, that's what we do.
I'm working on a whole.
Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
No, but anyway, they were like, this is the goal. This is what we want to do. And so I was sort of naive. I didn't really understand at that point. I didn't know what the Chinese Communist Revolution. I learned about it after that conversation because someone that was there with me was like, ooh, do you know what that means? Do you know what they're saying?
They hate America. They hate freedom.
Is that interesting, Evan? Because I'm sure you're a very educated person. And did you go to college?
I went to college, but I wouldn't say I'm very educated. I would say that I've always felt a little inadequate, to be honest with you, in some of those circles, in some of those liberal circles with people that most of them went to Ivy League type schools like Brown and Columbia.
Look how they ended up.
I went to the University of Kansas. So
they're Maoists now.
Wow.
So that just goes to show you. Wow. School. That goes to show you. I didn't know about that either. I barely knew about Mao. I heard of him. I heard he was a communist. Maybe that's it. That's all I knew. I didn't know that I didn't know actually until a week ago that he forced aborted 336 million, mostly female babies.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that until last week. I didn't know, what is it, 40 to 80 million people died from starvation because they decided to pretend like they know what they're doing with farmers. Same thing in Holodomor with the Ukraine and Soviets. It's like, why didn't you teach us
sparrows?
This?
They killed all the
just
sparrows.
Talk about Hitler every year, every single year, school year. Talk about Hitler. Hitler's the only bad person ever existed. It's like, Hitler is terrible. How about let's talk about when the left goes too far?
You know, it's weird. I remember when I was in school growing up, even a place like Kansas, they really only did talk about Hitler. They talked about Hitler. They talked about Mussolini. We didn't spend a lot of time on Russian history.
I mean, there's a lot of communist history you can go through.
I mean, Hitler was a pretty bad guy, though. I mean, I'm glad they thought about
Mao was worse.
100%.
Mao was worse.
Hitler killed one of my relatives, so fuck him.
Oh my God!
Absolutely.
And so
fuck Hitler. I hear you.
Like,
but Mao's got a bigger body count, and so does Stalin. That's
Mao's got a
much bigger. Yeah,
40 to 80 million people. 40 to 80 million people killed during the Cultural Revolution. They're all piece of shit.
I need to study it more. You know, I really do. It's
crazy.
I've spent a lot of my life working. So,
and why do you think that is, though? What guys like? I mean, like that's why I bring this up. It's like higher education because they're so dominated by leftist activists. Some of them are literal Marxists. Some of them are admitted Marxists and socialists. And they're especially the elite schools. So you have all the best quote unquote smartest journalists.
It's red-washed education.
And they're just steeped in radical leftist ideology and activism, education, right? And why? Of course, they're not going to want to talk about when the left goes too far. So just kind of just throw that under the rug when we thought we can socially engineer everybody and instead ended up killing 40 to 80 million people.
Hey, you guys
have me convinced to smash them and not help them anymore.
Hey, I have a question, not to totally change topics, but a little bit.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Zelensky-Trump meeting?
Yeah, we were just talking about it. Yeah,
we were just talking about that.
Yeah, because we didn't really get to it yet.
Yeah. So everybody's seen it. I actually played the clip earlier, but before any of us, what did you think of it, Evan?
My first gut reaction was, this is fucking awesome. That was my gut reaction. I was like, hell yeah, like finally. You know, part of the reason that I left the Democratic Party is because I was sick of being a part of the party of war and wanting war nonstop for years and years and years, and giving $350 billion to Ukraine when there's people here in the United States that are really, really struggling. I'd rather that money go to people like my grandma in Missouri, or, you know, like I'd rather let's rebuild manufacturing here. Let's do like other things with that money. And it just pissed me off. And so finally I saw a president that was willing to stand up to just endless giving away money, our tax dollars, to other countries. And it was amazing to see it play out on the world stage. I had a really positive feeling. I only had a negative feeling later when I read some of the like opinion pieces online about it. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe that was it. But no, actually, I think my instinct on it was right. You know, it was cathartic to see it and to feel it, and to see Donald Trump basically say no to Zelensky. And I think he did come in there with an attitude. He was rolling his eyes. He had his hands like this. You know, if he had just sort of nodded and agreed, and then if he had some sort of issue with what JD Vance said, if he waited until the cameras were out of the room and then chose that moment to address it, I think he might have walked out of there with a ceasefire. But I really don't think he wants a ceasefire. Do you guys?
No,
I think he wants this to go on and on and on and on. I think
I don't.
They want war. They want war. This is all about war. It's all about burning people alive in a nuclear Armageddon. They want it. That's why NATO encroached.
They all want it.
Borders. Thank God Trump is in office. We have a little bit of sanity. We're still clutching onto our fingernails onto the pre-Armageddon world. We're going to do our best. So we should smash them. I withdraw my vote to heal. Smash them all.
No, but it made me feel good. It made me feel like I was like, yes, and a president that's standing up for America. But
he's a money launderer. It's a money launderer.
Matter of fact, even worse. So this is so here's. Oh, I need to get my thoughts together. Well, no, I need to get my emotions together on this. Okay. Because
do you want me to speak while you do that?
No. It's so
I'm always here for you. All right, fine.
For me, this was a very. I actually echo Evan's sentiment. This is the first time that we've seen men in action talking to men about the direction of each of our countries. Okay, because obviously Zelensky's not going to get peace in Ukraine without the United States. What I saw was generational bag fumbling on the part of Zelensky. Zelensky was doing that thing where like a toddler just sit there with his arm crossed, just suck his teeth like, you know, that's kind of what he was doing towards the end.
Yeah.
I have heard on good authority that he was counseled by Europe and also by certain Democrats to scuttle that meeting towards the end. I have it on good. He was told to do that by several people within the Democratic Party and also with Europe and NATO.
They don't want Trump to look good. They're trying to,
and that's what that's about.
They don't want Trump to get a peace deal. They want to figure out. They wanted to figure out a way to keep this going. So they're like, fumble the meeting. Europe will bail you out. They'll keep it going. Because I saw today that the United Kingdom is now going to deploy troops on the ground to Ukraine.
We'll see, man.
That is despicable. But here's the thing:
they want their war.
Why would you? But here, serious question, and this, ladies and gentlemen who are listening and watching, I want to ask you a very serious question.
Oh boy!
Do you want your tax dollars going to this.
What is that? Oh,
Oh yeah, watch this.
Brace yourself.
is this Ukraine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
watch this. Do you have audio on? Put the audio on. Yeah, there you go. Look at this guy.
What the hell is going on?
Some of that male privilege, Evan.
It's called being dragooned into service. Britain did it in the 1800s and 1700s. When they didn't have enough men to staff their warships, they would kidnap men off the streets of Britain and force them to serve for years at a time. Yeah, they're dragooning each other.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
It's all I
Listen
can't.
to
I
those
can't.
screams.
Yeah.
Into the meat grinder you go, buddy.
I was just about to say that the meat grinder, because if you're on the it's
Yeah. Yeah.
What is
What
are his chances? What are his
he
chances of
screams.
survival?
He screams just like Eric Swalwell on a Saturday night. It's really terrible.
Oh shit!
Oh, you guys want to hear something crazy? Side note, sidebar. When I went viral, Eric Swalwell's brother sent me a DM and said that he like couldn't stand his brother and he wanted to talk to me, but I never replied.
Why not?
I felt like it was weird.
Can you get him on the phone right now?
I guess
Oh,
isn't that kind of weird? Isn't that kind of weird?
The reason
Can you give me
Something
Eric's
weird
number?
about it. Anyway,
So this is what I want you all.
Well, that's what JD Vance was
to
talking about.
understand.
That's what he's talking about.
JD
Subscription
Vance
issues.
called exactly, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the one thing that I was so happy that Zelensky was called out to his face about was the conscription going on. They are kidnapping any military, any of age man. They are kidnapping them and taking as many as they can and throwing them into the meat grinder, throwing them into the war. These we're
Including those
talking
with
about
Down syndrome.
Downs. What?
Including, I saw a Down syndrome
God.
kid. Yeah, they put a uniform on.
Really?
That's
man.
like ultra despicable.
This
I
is
mean,
my.
I don't.
Hold on,
I
wait,
don't-
wait.
I didn't even
let me
know
get-
that.
I'm pretty sure
I didn't
this
even know
happened. I saw it on the internet, which we know it never lies. So, you know,
I mean,
do your own research, folks.
Don't be surprised. Yeah.
But think about it. Here in the United States, privilege. We are a privileged nation, and I will say that I'm not. And I'm tired of Americans fucking acting like we have to apologize to everybody else for it. So, but that's besides the point. The fact that we have a volunteer army, we have a volunteer military service, with the exception of because we have some people who are trying to bring back the draft. The fact that you have people in Ukraine, men getting snatched off the street, to serve in a war that they don't have any experience. They're not even properly trained. That guy's going to be dead in about a week. I need y'all to. We need to sit with that reality for a second. That man.
That's
is
why he's
probably
screaming like
going
that.
To be dead. He's screaming
Because he knows. Oh boy, I don't have a good
He
chance.
knows
to get out of
that
this.
I mean, he could have a family waiting for him at his
That too.
house. He could have a
That too.
baby. He could have a wife. Like,
No goodbyes.
I mean, yeah, it's
no goodbyes.
it's-
Into the meat grinder you go.
So what the fuck? Why wouldn't Zelensky do everything he could to sign
Right.
this deal?
Yeah.
Because he wants war. Because he's probably all these people are pedophiles. They all have blackmail on them. I'm not saying Zelensky is, but
I don't. I mean, listen. He's. I don't know about that, but I think he's a super narcissist. Like, I think he likes the attention in some way. You know, he was an actor, and he's now leading. You know, it's propelled him to worldwide fame to have this war. Has anyone ever thought about it from that angle? Like, he gets to be on the cover of Vogue magazine now. You know, he gets to go around the world and have.
Oh, you mean that?
Yeah.
that's why everyone has to die because he wants to
Right.
be on Vogue magazine.
Right. I mean, he's like one of the most famous people in the world now. Half of America worships him. You know.
I know. Oh god.
And look, let's look at it from the other
even-
side. Like,
can't
let's be charitable. Like, let's say he just wants to, he feels wrongly done. Russia invaded. They have some territory. They attacked. Whatever. and he wants, what does he want? He wants the money back, reimbursements for that. He thinks that maybe we could win. And yeah, you could win. You could win if the United States really does everything we can do. And that's what I think that's what he's hoping for.
Yeah.
But it's like, boy, that could drag us into World War III. Is that in our best interest? Do we, is it really that important for us to get into this just because Eastern Ukraine might go to Russia and that's already filled with Russians anyways? Russia used to own this country for like 190 years, at least last 190 years, something like that.
What do you say to? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
They own the country. They own this country or ruled over it other times too in history. So it's like they have a kind of a claim to it too. And it's like, and then if you look at like the Cuban Missile Crisis, like we were very unhappy with. The hell's that? There was a
something I was setting up for. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. So there was we almost got into World War III, nuclear war, because of the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? And like when we kicked Russia out of Cuba, it's like maybe that's why Russia's upset too, because we made almost everybody else in Europe join NATO. We're gonna have Ukraine do it, and then we're gonna have some missiles that are right in the border, really close to Moscow. It's like, maybe Russia has a point, and we probably wouldn't allow missiles from China or Russia and Canada and Mexico. Maybe we'd invade Mexico and Canada. So I mean, but I don't know. Like it's even like getting like the just the narcissism. It's like what does he expect from this? Like, and I think that's what Trump and JD Vance was trying to say. It's like, what do you think's going to happen? You're going to drag Europe into the war? You think Europe's going to do this for you? Like, do you trust Europe to do this for you? You think you're going to get everybody on board to get their troops in there and get all the money you need? Maybe they will, but that's really going to be expanding this war. And one more thing I want to say, and you guys, I'd like for you guys to answer this. Do you guys really think that we're going to be like Russia's going to be invading Poland? Like I keep hearing that.
That's what I was about to ask you.
No.
I was about to ask you guys. Yeah.
Why?
That'd be crazy. I'd be shocked if they did.
Well, okay. Here's this to steelman it.
Yeah.
You said, Nostra, they owned that country for 140 years. Well, Poland also used to be part of the USSR.
Right.
So did Finland. So did Latvia. So did all these other countries. So a lot of liberals, I've heard this argument, believe that Vladimir Putin is basically trying to take back the Russian Empire.
Right. Yeah. I just
if you give him Ukraine, he's going to go kind of like Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
But
he just lost like 1 million men. Like they don't have that kind of money. They don't have the soldiers for that. Russia doesn't have that's not the old Soviet Union. They're gonna.
Why would
NATO still exists? I mean, unless the only way they could do that's like if the United States helps them. Really.
Yeah.
But contrast that, right? Contrast what you just saw and heard with that young man getting snatched off the street. Compare that to what's going on in the streets of California, where there's this.
Russia is a terrorist state. Russia is a terrorist state. Russia is a terrorist state. Ukraine is free, will always be. Ukraine is free, will always be.
There's the same thing.
Ukraine is free, will always be. Russia is a terrorist state. Russia is a terrorist state. Ukraine is free, will always be.
Sad.
Yeah. I think that's where I live.
Look, if those are Ukrainians, I get it. To be fair, those are Ukrainians and they're against it. Like, cool. Who knows how many of them really are and how many of them are just like paid leftist protest actors. But geez, I feel like all these people know how to do in general on the left.
It's protest.
It's protest. Like that's all they know how to do is just shout and repeat things in public.
Edgar, your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I'm past my bedtime.
Go to bed.
Go to bed.
I'm just lingering around to show my Ilhan Omar clip so I can go to bed.
Oh, I want to see it. I want to see it.
You know what? I say don't show it. Don't show it.
Oh.
I veto it. I veto it. I veto this video.
Is it that bad?
No, it's not.
No, we can show it.
It's
I'm
not.
just kidding. I'm just kidding, Puppet Edgar. I love you. I love you.
I'm
For
searching
sure.
Because once you
for
show
it.
that video, I can go watch the Oscars,
Oh,
and then I can
God.
pee.
We're keeping Edgar from the Oscars.
shoot. Oh God! All right, hold on. I'm looking for. Well, hold on. I think you.
I
I
sent
think
the
he lost
link
it,
to
Edgar.
you.
I think you're out of luck, man. He lost
It's
it.
30
got
seconds
it.
long.
That's
It's not
fine.
these
I got it.
magnum opuses you've been playing. Okay, everyone be quiet now.
Can't find
Sit on
it.
the set. Shh.
I got it.
Very
I
important.
got it. I
Begins
got it.
quietly. It's a quiet video.
It's a quiet video.
Play it from the
Yeah,
beginning.
my ass.
Don't miss the
My
beginning.
ass.
Listen.
Here we go. Listen to this. Evan. This is
Hi.
ridiculous.
We're here eagerly awaiting for Ilhan Omar to speak. Ilhan Omar is famous for many, many things. I want to speak very softly and respectfully here.
Ilhan Omar, did you consummate the marriage to your brother? Which is worse, immigration fraud or brother fucking? Are there any other relatives you fancy, Ilhan? How did your brother propose to you? All right.
We're here eagerly awaiting for Ilhan Omar
Great.
to speak. Ilhan Omar.
Beautifully done.
Oh,
Okay,
Puppet
wait, did
Edgar.
that really happen? Did she really
Yes, it
speak?
did. Yes, it did.
She did.
She
What?
did?
She married her brother.
I've never
Is it, her
actually.
blood, is it her blood brother, or is it like one of those like
It's
brother
I,
porn
I,
videos?
I,
Like stepbrothers?
I think it was her blood brother. I do think it was her
Tell
blood
me.
I
brother.
don't know.
Her brother
I don't know
Sal.
about that. I don't know
Wait,
about-
wait.
So-
Is it real? I've never looked into it. Is it
I haven't
real?
either.
No,
Well,
it's
according
real.
to the
It's real.
Minneapolis Star Tribune, which is a Democratic paper, she's a brother marrier. Whether she's a brother
She's a brother
is another
trucker.
case. She
Yeah.
might be a brother humper, though.
Wait.
Let's ask the dragon.
Whoa. Stop that.
Dragon, what do you say?
Puppet Edgar, you're
I'm
perverted.
Marshall's mom. Leave me alone. Okay,
Stop
babe.
rubbing that ribbon, the phallic ribbon.
Edgar,
Yes.
everybody, Edgar, go ahead and go.
I go to bed
go
now?
ahead. You
I'm
can
so
go to
tired.
bed now.
I've been doing. I'm
You can
trying
go
not
to
to do
bed.
neck whips.
Puppet Edgar.
Okay.
It's past your
Puppet
bedtime, but listen to
Edgar,
me.
ladies
What-
and gentlemen.
Where can we
I'm
find
glad
you,
you're
Puppet
here.
Edgar?
Where can we find you?
YouTube? Where are you? Where are you at?
On Twitter at Puppet Edgar. Now, for you illiterates, Edgar is spelled EDGAR.
Oh, you illiterate idiots out there.
Quiet.
Oh
And,
my God.
the YouTube program is called Ask America with Edgar. It's the #1 fascist puppet show in DC. So
Oh,
enjoy.
wonderful. You didn't tell us you were a fascist, Puppet Edgar.
Well, I got called a fascist so much I decided to lean in.
Edgar, thank you for joining us, buddy. We
All
appreciate
right,
it.
we love you, brother.
Love you,
Very
bye.
funny.
We love you. But
Very funny, brother.
I didn't know
All
what
right.
he was about to show us with the camera going down, but
I
The-
don't
the,
know.
the arm up his ass.
I should have him on my pod.
You should. You should.
You should.
Yeah, it'd be funny.
You should.
He's a funny guy. I like
Yeah.
Edgar.
What a night. What a
Yeah,
night.
cool.
So Zelensky, I don't know. What do you guys think, man? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, they're making it sound like just like anything Trump does, they make it sound like it was the worst thing that ever happened in American history. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's because no people are not used to hearing men speak directly and firmly to each other.
he's absolutely right
Okay.
that it's you got to be grateful. You should have said something. Say thank you. Like, be grateful. Even if you disagree with them, it's like that's bad. It's very bad diplomacy to be sitting there trying to be like, nah, you're wrong, President Trump. You're wrong, JD Vance. Like, and getting all heated with them. It's like that's like. Did you see the video where they looked over at the Ukrainian diplomat ambassador? You see
Yeah,
that?
she had her.
was
Yeah,
like-
she
sort
had
of-
her head in her hand, like,
the hands,
oh,
like
shit.
they peeled over to the
Yeah.
left. And she's sitting there kind of like, and that's like, yeah, because she knows that was not what you do if you want.
I mean,
somebody to give you
even
millions of
Lindsey
dollars.
Graham,
Yeah.
Lindsey Graham came out and he's
Yeah.
been, about as pro Zelensky as you can
Yep.
get. Been to
Yep.
Ukraine 9 times since the war started.
Lindsey Graham. Go ahead. Do it.
No, I mean, even he
finish
came
it.
out and said Zelensky needs to resign.
Yeah.
If he's saying it,
Lindsey Graham, and please understand, folks, Lindsey Graham has never met a war he didn't want to shove up his ass.
it's true.
Okay, like
That's
I'm
well-
not
very
even.
well
Gonna,
said.
That
I'm
is
not even gonna lie.
so
Like
horrible. Yeah.
that guy has never turned down an opportunity to get to extend the war machine a little bit longer. Okay, that's what the neocons are great for that shit. Okay,
Ultimate hawk.
Right,
Yeah.
the ultimate hawk. So if Lindsey Graham is saying, we can't be doing that. I don't understand why Zelensky, why would he do this? This is frustrating as hell. Like, nah, dude, nah. Zelensky really screwed up, and he's even screwed up to the point where his local government, like people within the local government, are like, we need to do something here. So,
dude, I think like I just don't see the Poland thing. Like, he's not. I think Putin's happy with. I mean, of course he'd love it. I'm sure he'd love to take back all those countries. Of course, he's a power hungry guy. He wants more resources. But he's not. I don't think he'd even think about actually doing it, because like I don't even think he would even dare try to take over all of Ukraine. Like, I think he just invaded and he's putting pressure on him, and he'll be happy to just take, Donbass and Crimea, whatever, maybe some other things like on the side, and that's it. I think he'd be happy with that as long as they negotiate the deal. Like, I don't think he's going to be like, oh, I need Ukraine, all of Ukraine. So what the hell makes him think that he's going to be like, okay, well we got Eastern Ukraine or wherever. I'm pretty sure it's Eastern Ukraine. Let's just, let's just go to Poland now. It's like, I don't think that's realistic. I don't know what you guys think.
The part of the reason that Putin says he invaded, right, was because Ukraine had thought about joining NATO. Poland is already a NATO country. And so that's sort of already decided for. That's what I always counter with people who say things like that, is I'm like, Ukraine wasn't in NATO. So to him, it was very threatening that they suddenly were right next to Russia. And if they join NATO, potentially could be setting up a very hostile situation on their border for Russia. And so that was part of the reason that he, made the moves that he made. I'm not saying it was right, but that was, I feel bad for Ukraine. I do. I feel.
Me too.
I feel bad for them. I mean, they clearly have, are they are the victims in this situation.
They are.
But I think
they really are.
At the end of the day, it's like their leader needs to see that this war has to come to an end. And he was on the cusp of doing that. He was on the cusp. And as Trump said in the Oval Office, like, you're not going to get all your demands laid out before we get a ceasefire. The first phase is the ceasefire. Then we go to the deal. We pause the fighting. Like, that is step one. That's what happened in Israel. They just paused the fighting, and now they're working through all the phases of agreements. And so Zelensky needs to understand that. And because he blew up, for lack of no pun intended, the ceasefire deal, it proves it's like he didn't really want that. And now UK is sending, I don't know if you guys, did you see that today? They're sending troops on the ground.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
I think it's fine. Like, I think it's fine if Europe wants to do that. Hopefully it doesn't escalate. But if I'm happy to see Europe carry their own weight, and we can just be like, okay, we're going to step back, and we're not going to give you guys all of America's money every year. And like, I'm happy to see Europe take that over, because Europe needs to carry their own goddamn weight, pay for their own stuff, make their militaries a little stronger, so we don't have to, like, they've just been so lazy because they know America's going to save them all the time. That's bullshit. Like, I think Trump's absolutely right. They got to pay their own way. I'll say this though: if Putin does invade Poland, I'll be the first person to be like, fuck Putin. I mean, fuck Putin anyways. But like, I'm totally against that. NATO needs to do something about it.
Yeah,
well, the United States.
Well, Europe. Well, look at this asshole, Keir Starmer, standing next to this fucking guy. Look at it. All the war hawk, miserable, tiny war hawk.
A lot of corruption in that crowd, man, let me tell you, and ineptitude.
Bunch of virtue signaling fucking leftists.
Useless. Worse than useless.
Absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Hey, more power to him, man. Go. You guys carry your weight. Let us fix the things we need to fix in our own country.
Right. I've never. And here's what kills me.
And focus on
And I
China
mean
too, because
this.
that's the next step. That's what's going. That's the next thing.
Here's what gets me about all this.
Essentially, yeah.
I have never seen, never in my life have I seen so many people within our country who are so averse to actually taking care of ourselves as a nation first.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a second. The very notion of saying, you know what, folks, we've been the indispensable nation for many years, longer than most of us have even been alive. We've got $36 trillion. We've got a $36 trillion deficit. We've got a $2 trillion deficit in just this fiscal year alone. We've got people who are hurting. Okay, Appalachia was flooded out, then almost frozen out.
Mm-hmm.
We had Lahaina, the fires in Maui. We've got people. We have a population right now that are disaffected. We've got up here in New York, homeless, lots of crime. Okay, and then you want to charge us $9 to drive through the local streets of Manhattan, south of 60th Street.
Dude, I saw a video the other day. I don't know if you guys seen this of some guy calling the insurance company, saying how he had a bill from the insurance company when he wasn't insured.
My fiance showed me this
$600 bill, right? And he called up. He goes, "Oh, actually, we are insured, and we sent it to you." They found out they were insured or whatever, and he sent them the bill with their new insurance, and the bill ended up coming out to, what was it, $1,300, $1,200, something like that?
It was
more
$600. It was it was more
you pay for
expensive.
insurance every month for what? I mean, it could be $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 for insurance every month, and then you have insurance, so you have to pay more out of pocket too than you would if you weren't insured. So it's like, why the hell am I paying for insurance?
What is even the point?
When I can just get the discount, the uninsured discount.
It's so fucked up.
So it's like, it's crazy. So it's like, that's the kind of stuff maybe that money can do to like help subsidize healthcare costs. So we don't have such high costs,
This is what I was just saying to those leftists over there in that space, is that they're just shit talking MAGA, shit talking Trump. And I'm like, you guys realize that most people in MAGA, like, they want to fix the healthcare system. Like, they don't want like no healthcare for Americans. Like, they don't want to get rid of Medicaid. They don't want to get rid of Medicare. Like, they want to fix the ACA. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they want. They don't want people like me to not be able to get health insurance anymore. That's how you paint them. The majority of them, I would say 70% of them. Of course, there's like libertarian types, right? That don't want any government or anything, and just want 100% free market, absolutely no regulations on anything. Those people do exist, but I would say where the majority of the country is at is like somewhere in the middle, and that's what they don't understand.
And if it's not if it's not subsidizing, because I know, you can't try to trust the government with our money as well, especially with all the stuff being on, but we already knew about that, but all the stuff that's being uncovered, it's like, instead, if it's not that, then maybe just let us keep more of our fucking money.
Yeah.
Like instead of taking so much percentage of our money, let us keep some of it because you don't need as much now.
Or I will say, I think a lot of healthcare costs, and I'm not a healthcare expert, but I do have a lot of lived experience, you guys.
Yes, you got lived experience.
But I will say, I think a lot of healthcare costs is because big pharma and hospitals, providers and big pharma, and then these prescription benefit managers, which RFK has actually talked about pretty recently, are allowed to charge whatever they want.
Yep,
and so
that's
if the government or the Trump administration starts to look into that, which it sounds like they're going to, it sounds like this is something RFK wants to tackle.
That would be huge.
Which is why Big Pharma is so scared of him. One of the reasons, if they're able to more basically cap them and basically say like, no, you can't have a 6,000% profit on a drug. You could have, no industry gets those kind of profit margins, right? And
how can it be so much more expensive than it is in Europe?
Right, exactly. So like, let's start charging Americans like a fair price for these medications and these services. That would do so much to just reduce. We may not even need to subsidize people because healthcare would be so more affordable.
I I genuinely
100%.
cannot stand the fact that, again, all these issues, all of these different things going on within our own country, within our own borders. We've got a mental health crisis. We've got healthcare crisis. But for some odd reason, instead of fixing any of these issues, we want to keep overextending ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
They've taught us, we've heard so many perverse things. At least I've heard so many perverse things from the left over the last several years. The one I love is, well, rights are not pie. Where they say, well, yeah, they're like, well, everybody can just we can just keep giving rights and giving empathy to all these different groups and keep overextending our empathy and all this other shit to everyone else around us without ever taking into consideration the effect that it's going to have on us as individuals. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they don't look, I mean, and listen, I could go into a whole thing about how leftists don't even like the concept of individualists just doesn't even register with them. But the fact is, America is right now, to quote to paraphrase to borrow from my fiance, America's fat, sick, and nearly dead.
Mm-hmm.
We are depressed. We're upset. We're not doing well. Okay. We've got, most of us hate our jobs. We're dealing with crises. We're dealing with crises left to us by the former administration. Okay. I paid yesterday, or was it Friday? I paid $14 for a dozen eggs. Jeez. In my neighborhood. Okay. There were eggs. At least, listen, God bless. At least there were eggs on the fucking shelf.
Yeah, I know that's a blessing.
But the bottom line is, the Biden administration culled 100 million chickens before Trump took over, and that's not counting all the other poultry plant fires that were taking place in the first half of Biden's administration. The point I'm trying to say is, we have big problems that we must fix, and if we are to fix these problems, we have to be very clear-eyed. We have to be sober-minded. We have to speak. I hate to use the phrase. We have to speak truth. Really, you know what?
Truth to power.
Well, but who's the power in this case? The power is ourselves. We got to fix ourselves in this case. If you're not willing to admit that the Democratic Party is now an entity that is only about power for its own sake, only about the consolidation and centralization of power, for no other reason except to punish anyone who does not think or believe as they do politically. They are now communists. The Democrat Party, I hate to say it, the Democrat Party are communists.
Yeah.
We think you're Marxist because you act like fucking Marxists. You talk like Marxists. You use Marxist terms. And yet you feel like, oh, well, if we just communicate better. No, actions speak louder than words. And no one seems to get that. But yeah. I really could go on and on all night. I think we can wrap up. Is that?
Yeah, I got a dip.
I think we can wrap up. I got Evan. I love you, dear. I'm so glad you were able to join us.
Yeah, you guys, I love coming on the show because every time I come on the show, I just feel so relaxed. I don't feel like I'm doing a show. I feel like I'm on a Zoom call and nobody else is watching, which is probably how it should feel, right? Because then you can just be yourself.
Indeed.
I have to remind myself sometimes when I'm talking to you that I can't say everything.
I got you.
I'm glad we have that effect on you, though, where you like kind of let your guard down a little bit. That's great. I think it makes for better conversations.
Yeah.
Well,
Evan, where can we find you? Where can everybody find you? What are you working on? Where are you going?
Oh, you can find me at X. You can find me. You can watch me on Fox News this Wednesday night. I will be on Trace Gallagher's show on Wednesday night. That is like 10 or 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. That's my next TV appearance. And you can also follow me on X at Evan WCH. So
awesome. So with that, I think we're all going to dip out with that in mind. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us this evening. Shout to Adam Coleman and but my good friend and also Puppet Edgar. Thank you again to Evan Barker. We will be back next week, same time, same place. And I want to talk to you, and we will talk to you all soon. We leave you tonight with a special thing. I want to just give I want to give a special shout out to a kid that I am a big fan of. He's a bit of a friend of mine, a young man by the name of Jacob Merle. He is a forward for my forever club here, DC United. And he pulled off something last night to steal a point from Chicago Fire. So I am going to leave you, we are going to leave you with this insane goal. Jake, we love you, kid. You're a great kid. You're doing wonderful things out there. I'm glad to see we are just blown away by what you're doing. You're going to be a star real soon, kiddo. Thank you again. Peace.
Thanks, everybody.
To try to salvage a point here, DC United. Back out wide it goes. Into the mixer maybe one more time. Bicycle kick attack. Oh, unbelievable. An absolutely impeccable finish for DC United. Merle has leveled things at the death.